Ah, how's it going, Rackle viewers? Grim Gay right back into it. More Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. And, well, since we're missing a couple of players, for our usual Waterdeep, Undermountain campaign, we decided to do a little one-shot, and I'm already late for it because I decided I needed a power nap because my job sucks. So, one quick moment while I get everything a-going. Oh, you're turning on. That's not good. I don't need my work phone to turn on just because I'm trying to charge it. I just need it to charge. Bastard. So that's probably going to go off in a minute. But let us join our good friends that we've had so much fun with over the last year or so.
Who knows?
There we go.
One day.
Hello.
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 Hi.
All right. So we seem to have everyone here. How was everybody's weeks? We all good?
Don't ask. Just don't ask.
Fair enough.
Let me put it this way.
That bad.
Yeah, let me put it this way. I literally power napped most of today with my phone off because I was allowed to actually sleep again with my phone off.
Why were you allowed to sleep with the phone off?
Because the
Did
phone
they
wasn't...
tell you to?
No, because the phone was no longer going off, and I flat out told my boss, I've gone 31 days now without a day off, and the one day off I tried to take, I didn't get a full day off. So my phone's going to be off now, John, and I'm going to just have a day.
Fair enough. I'm glad you got a day.
Yep, and I also told him I'm going to take Wednesday off from my other D&D group. That's all. If they have a problem with it, well, they can bite me.
Mm-hmm.
Can't really expect me to work all too effectively if I don't have a freaking day off.
Right. All right. So as you guys well know, we have Alex gone for this week and what sounds to be next week as well. So we are doing a small little side quest, side trek, a foray into the module of Acquisitions Incorporated, which is a D&D group that's been running for years now, has attained some amount of fame. I followed their podcasts, or not their podcast, well, yeah, I followed them and became a fan of them. Gwen's familiar because they showed up in Neverwinter. Do you know anything about them, Grim?
No. Out of everything I've heard inklings of, Acquisition Incorporated did not make it on my list of things I've heard of.
Fair enough. But they made a effort, or their games usually had quite a bit of comedy of company-oriented stuff, businesses. The leader of it was Omendron, who is a cleric of Timora. I think it's Timora and Joaquin, the coin maiden and the goddess of luck. He really appreciated the business side of the gods, so he became the shareholder and the sole shareholder of Acquisitions Incorporated, hired on Binwin Bronzebottom, Jim Dark Magic, and interns, red shirts. The latest, which is Viari, who you might recognize as a ripoff of Patrick Rothfuss's actual character. I don't know the actual character's name, but from his book series, where there's a red-haired man that does everything. I can't remember. They sit around a table, make jokes about each other because some of them are comic book writers or web comics or actual authors, and just make jokes. And their DMs are always. It was Chris Perkins, one of the lead guys for 5e, and now it's currently Jeremy Crawford, the top guy for 5e right now, who answers all the Sage Advice column stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. So they're cool people. For some reason, I don't know what it is. I never fell into like Critical Role or the Adventure Zone, which are the two biggest things that I hear D&D podcasts or game wise. But for some reason, I just fell into Acquisitions Incorporated, and they've always been one of my favorites.
I fell in love with Team 4-Star.
Yes.
And their little...
They did do something, didn't they?
Team 4-Star at the table, hosted by Zito, and later on by Lonnie Pator. It was,
That's actually not the one that I'm talking about. They actually have a third, and that's the one I'm talking about.
They have a third one now? What the hell?
Yeah, it's probably their longest running ones. Let's see, where the hell is it?
Oh, sorry, I remember the one being run by Zito, who was in the Unexpectables with Takahata 101 and
yes,
Guys
the
and Goomba.
Unexpectables.
Yeah, the Unexpectables.
Okay,
I recognize that.
Yeah,
Yes.
now the Unexpectables is a real good one. That's what actually started getting me really heavy into D&D. People say Critical Role and all that. For me, it's always been the Unexpectables.
Yeah. I only got into Critical Role for a short bit. I mean, I like it, but I can't sit and watch it like everyone else can.
I've tried, but I keep losing track of where the hell I am, and constantly have to go back and rewatch everything again. And it's like, these are full 4-hour sessions, every single one of them, and it's like I remember getting to the friggin' vampires, Briarwoods or whatever. And that's always about around the same time where I suddenly lose track of where the hell I am.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
I tried getting through it 3 times now, and I keep getting lost at that point. I bookmark it and all that, and then I just lose the bookmark.
Oh no.
Yeah, I feel like it's something similar for me when I'm starting. Like I've picked up a bunch of really cool series, like Dimension 20 has a couple of really cool running series where they actually had like Matthew Mercer play a character on there for one of the series. They do a lot of like funny premises where they had Escape from Bloodkeep, which is basically just a ripoff of Lord of the Rings, but set on the evil side, sorta, where
nice.
all the main characters are playing evil characters, and like Matthew Mercer is playing as the head of the Nazgul, the ghost wraith guys that ride wyverns or whatever.
Oh, the wraith,
and,
nice.
And he speaks with a really English accent and says, "Oh my God, I'm screwing it up now already." But they're really, what's the word? I don't want to say effeminate, but like they're really supportive of each other. Like all the wraith guys are really supportive of each other, and all have hobbies elsewhere, and it just
the hell.
It's really funny.
That is actually really funny.
They have like the Spider Queen, who's like a Drider, who always brings tries to bring a man home to become husband to her 8,000 children because she gives birth to fucking spiders. But she's a Black Widow, so she always ends up eating them, and she doesn't know that she eats them in their sleep because she's a sleep eater.
Oh,
So
Jesus.
it just ends up to be this funny fucking joke where she wakes up and her kids have stood guard outside the door to make sure another man hasn't escaped, and they don't understand what happened.
Jesus Christ.
That is hilarious. Oh, another sleep nibbler. Just like Minori.
And yeah, it's really, if anybody's got the time, it's not like a long series. I think it's only like it's just it has a actual stopping point. It was just done for fun, but it was really cool. Kitties. And if you guys might be paying attention to what the character images are, you might see that we have a halfling, a goblin, a kobold, and a fucking what's the word again?
Furbolg.
A furbolg, which is a half giant. So already this is a great portrayal of images here. This half giant running around trying to save the kids. I just can't get it out of my head. Put down the gun, Jimmy! Shoot your eye out.
No, take that out of your mouth. Take it out of your mouth.
Don't tell me what to do. I'll tell you whatever in my mouth I feel like putting in my mouth. I'm an accountant. I'm allowed to do these things.
Oh God, Styx the accountant. Ugh.
Yeah, how you doing? I'm Styx the accountant now.
Oh no.
It's okay. Your money is always safe with me, never with you. Hence why I take your money.
Okay.
It's like I freaking like late last night after I finished my other crap, I'm sitting there thinking it's like fuck, I gotta make a character for this, and I don't know what the hell to roll with. I guess I'll just roll with something I know by heart. Oh god damn it, Styx! Why does it have to be you?
Because the answer is always Styx.
The answer is
It
always
has
Styx.
been. It always has been and always will be.
I will say the answer is never 6.
uh,
Do we have Gwen back?
not yet. I don't think.
Not quite yet.
Not quite.
I hate that my work phone turns on automatically when I'm charging it, so I already see how many voicemails I miss, how many text messages I'm missing, and it's like I've told every single one of these people, it is my day off. My phone will more than likely be off, and I will not answer it. This is the CFS hotline. Call that if you need help. Why are these people still bugging me?
It might be like automatic messages that they send out to everybody.
Nope. Because I got voicemails. 2 are from the same guy. One is from someone I've effectively dubbed a badger, because every frickin' day she's gotta call or text me and badger me about some nonsense that, honestly, either A, is out of my control, B, I have no power over, C, she's just stupid.
Sorry. Just putting
It's
my
okay.
bowls away and getting my medication.
Oh, good.
Nothing to worry about. That's rather important.
Yeah.
All right. So that brings us to where we are today. As I said before, this game takes place in Waterdeep, City of Splendors, one of the major cities along the north and along the Sword Coast. You are familiar with the city, at least perhaps only just having spent a day or two in it, perhaps only forayed into it to meet and find Acquisition Incorporated, as the pamphlets and flyers they've sent out have gone literally everywhere with help of their airship, as they do have an airship. It's mostly just them dumping buckets of flying paper. They've already spent, they've already been faced with fines for the cleanup for it, but the word has gone out. Those of you more familiar with the city would know that, or hear of a couple of things that have been going on as you have spent your time filling in the application process, sweating over the interview that you're going to today, one of which Styx. You, in fact, would know that members of the Guild of Chandlers and Lamplighters have recently gone on strike, leaving the streets of Waterdeep dark and dangerous around the next new moon, with thieves and assassins of the city already preparing for a night of fun, as it were. This
Man.
might be the prime time to get job with insurance.
I mean, I don't understand why the hell thieves and assassins feel like they need to do these things in order to make money. I mean, I'm an accountant, for God's sake. I'm not really much of an adventurer. I don't even know the first thing about adventuring. I keep hearing scary stories about some place called Barovia.
I was just gonna mention that.
I knew it. I knew this was
Been
going to go there.
before?
Nah, I've never been there before. Only heard about it in weird stories.
Sir Colos, you, in fact, keeping an ear to the surrounding area, have also heard that a green dragon was recently spotted flying over the Sea of Swords, just west of the city. The Blackstaff and her team are on high alert in case it ventures closer to harass the ships in the area.
Hey, have you heard about this green dragon? I have this big treasure, great treasure, best treasure ever. Dragons have the best treasure. We should go.
What's a dragon?
Big scary lizard.
Oh, so you, but bigger.
Yes.
Good answer.
But they have big treasure, the best treasure. We should take it.
Zafina, you in particular, having moved along the north ward as you pass through the northern gate here of the city of Waterdeep on your way to the interview, heard that a killer has begun stalking the streets in this ward, murdering people in broad daylight. Surprisingly, the victim's feet are chopped off as if by a powerful blow with a sharp blade, then they're decapitated. The heads are left behind, but the feet are taken for some reason.
Fucking fit fetish.
Yeah, some strange fetishes around here.
What's a fetish?
A quirk, an interest.
Like gold.
Like money?
Kinda, yes. You can have
Some
do you like to
fetishes,
swim in money?
Well, it'd be very
Oh,
difficult
yeah.
because money's like this solid object in a coin shape. It's a little hard to swim in. I heard there's a weird Scottish.
No,
Hey,
there
hey.
was this weird duck that liked to do
Exactly.
it.
There's a duck that can do it. He's like, it's a magical thing, I swear.
I think he's a warlock or a wizard or something.
Karia.
Kahira, yeah.
Kahira, thank you. Kahira, having traveled through the South Ward on your way towards your own interview, interested in getting your position or whatever position you can, you would have heard that a noble merchant within the South Ward recently survived an assassination attempt last night. A female half-elf was seen fleeing the scene, bearing a deep cut on her shoulder from a bodyguard's blade, and a 50 gold bounty has been offered for bringing her in alive for questioning.
Goodness.
Did she have her feet?
Does she have money?
Did she have money? Yes.
What's the deal with the feet?
I don't
Why
know.
is that important?
There's some guy going around killing people and taking their feet.
Oh, smart. Feet are great in black market. Bunch of
Yeah?
perverts outside. Yes, bunch of perverts buy feet.
What's a pervert?
I don't know.
Have
That's
you
how,
ever-
People
that's,
have
how,
fetishes.
that's how you call the customers when they are when they don't see you.
You know, I knew society was going to make me uncomfortable. I didn't think it was going to make me this uncomfortable.
I'm uncomfortable anytime I leave my office. For God's sakes, it's dangerous out there.
It's dangerous in
Try-
here.
You should try working in a tavern. It's completely uncomfortable.
Oh God, I never touched this stuff.
Last but not least, you all have heard the rumor, or at least are very, or rather, sorry. Last but not least, you all have heard the rumor that the earthquake that hit the city 2 days ago wasn't natural. Some believe that strong magic underground was unleashed and caused it, maybe even magic from under mountain. A lot of people are pointing fingers towards a company, a rival company of Acquisitions Incorporated, known as Wit and Aster, who supposedly recently begun mining mithril in the heart of the mountain.
Oh shit, did we do that?
Yeah, we did. That's,
Oh no. Fuck.
that's our fault. My bad.
This does take place concurrently with the main group doing their thing, the Misadventures under Waterdeep.
Oh no.
That actually works out really well for what I have planned for this version of Styx, and it scares me.
Perfect. So with the introduction and rumors aside, let me draw you into
Bring his
the
alter
scene.
ego in.
Sorry?
I was asking if he was bringing his alter ego in. The other sticks.
No, there's a lot to Styx, and sadly, because he's a meta goblin, I can basically make any of it make sense for why there's an accountant named Styx who happens to sound like Styx, but have like a completely alternate perspective of life from Styx.
Right,
Oh
exactly.
no, it works way too well, and that makes me frightened.
Fantastic.
It makes all of us frightened.
Yes.
In that case, with the rumors passed out, let me rather pull you into the scene as you all wait eagerly for what is happening. Your inquiries into internships and franchise opportunities at Acquisitions Incorporated have gone even better than you'd hope. Ridiculous rumors talk about how prospective interns of AC Inc. aren't always treated with respect, dignity, or care, Even more ridiculous tales of interns dying at an alarming rate are told throughout the city. Thankfully, you don't believe a word of any of that. So far, everyone at the head office has treated you with kindness and even a bit of deference. You were shown into this elegant conference room, given fine food and drinks, refreshments, ales, snacks of all sorts laid out on a table for your delight. And you were asked to wait to speak with none other than Omen Drawn, founder and CEO of this august organization. Truly, for prospective interns, this is both unexpected and thrilling as well. You all were led in one by one, having arrived at different times, into the same boardroom, and you may take this opportunity to introduce yourselves. What does each one see? How all are you speaking? Are you even interacting with your fellow peers? You are aware that Acquisitions Incorporated often either takes interns into already established groups or sometimes takes individuals and forces them into a group. You may very well be sitting across from your allies for the indeterminable amount of future.
It seems like one of them meetings that you go to if you're an alcoholic. So let's just start with that,
What's
I
an
guess.
alcoholic?
I'm assuming someone that drinks a lot of alcohol. I wouldn't know. I never touched the stuff. It's sinful in my eyes. I'm not a fan. But hello. So I'm Styx, a goblin and accountant. As you can see, I decided to dress fairly neatly. I got these nice trousers. I got this button-up shirt. I got this nice tie. It's a little snug around the neck, but that's okay. I'm a goblin. Honestly, people, I'm just happy they're not trying to string me by the damn thing. I like money, hence why I'm an accountant. I do like money. I especially, for some reason, get a little strangely giddy whenever I take other people's money, generally in taxes, or in interest, and other such things. It's fun for me.
I have to ask, where'd you get that shirt at? Because it looks strangely like my father's. Did you steal it from him?
Oh, heavens, no, I wouldn't actually steal things. What kind of goblin do you take me for? But strangely enough, you know what's funny? You're not the first lady to actually tell me that I look a lot like a goblin that steals things. I don't get where that comes from. I never would do such things. No. I'm a very God-loving and God-fearing goblin. I would never ever do anything to piss off the higher-ups up there who control our fate, you know? Heavens bless.
Those that control our fate are not even in here yet. I'm Zafina. My family owns one of the taverns here in town. It's called the Laughing Swan. I'm sure you've probably heard of it. Maybe not. Most adventurers frequent there. I like to bake breads, pies, cakes. I also know how to cook. But working in a tavern can be daunting, especially when people drink way too much.
So why don't you just open up your own bakery? I mean, honestly, the taxes here in Waterdeep are a lot more lenient towards bakeries than they are taverns. Taverns, there gotta be a lot of insurance policies, and a bunch of red tape and paperwork that honestly no one really needs. You can just open up a bakery. You can have like a small little alcoholic bar just in the corner that's honestly completely subsidized and completely off the books.
If I sell alcohol, then I become a tavern.
No, only if
Every
you specifically
time-
focus on selling alcohol. If you focus on selling just, baked goods, you're fine.
Maybe, but I've lived here for far too long and I've seen all of the city and I want something more. Maybe sell my baked goods elsewhere.
There you go.
In another city. You know?
I've only been here 2 years.
Is that how old you are?
That's weird. I honestly actually don't know how old I am. I just remember one day I just kind of woke up in Waterdeep and people were yelling at me and chasing me with sharp objects. It was really weird because they kept talking about how I peed in their bed sheets or something and they were like really finely dressed. I think they were nobles. I had no idea what the hell they were talking about.
That sounds like a bad dream.
I mean, I wish it
Hello.
was a bad dream. I got this wicked scar on my arm here from one of the pitchforks. So it definitely wasn't a dream.
Guessing my turn. Hello, name is Circos. Force cleric of the best god. What god you ask? All of them, all are great, the best gods, all of the force gods.
All hail
have,
the
like-
many gods.
Yes, I have like a 5 necklace of very different gods. I'm here. I have everything you need. You need weapons, I have weapons. You need magic, I have magic. I have the best healing, the best. Also, I think taxes are heresy. Nice to meet you.
I mean, honestly, people always say that too. People say that taxes are heresy. They're not heresy. I mean, they go to pay for the roads, they go to pay for the buildings, the insurance companies, if they're not
I
privatized.
can
If they're
kill you too.
Yeah, I mean, if the insurance companies are privatized, that's an entirely separate matter. And honestly, those are usually scams that make you just want to pay more. And I'm sorry, I'm really passionate about my job as an accountant. I know all these things. And I like to talk about them.
That sounds like communist propaganda. Blech.
No, communism is something slightly different. This is more of a capitalist thing.
So my name is Kahira. I'm awkwardly tall, I've noticed. It seems like everything in the city is smaller than I expected. And I actually have a question. This thing that you keep mentioning, does that quite possibly have something to do with something called money?
I mean, my
Yes.
entire job revolves around money, so kind of yes.
Oh, good. That is something that I was told I should look for. Do you know where I might find this money?
That depends. Are you a cop?
I don't know what a cup is.
The
Sorry.
the
Are you a
god.
guard?
Your guard.
You're a god?
Yes, I am a guard. My name is Kahira
Ah.
Guard.
Then no, I have nothing
No,
for
no,
you.
no, no.
Step away.
No,
Aw.
do you work for the city guard? Is basically what he means. If he told you, would you arrest him?
No, I'm not a city guard. I'm an orphan guard. You see, I grew up around the outskirts of a little town called Harbington, where there's this lovely little shop called Mabel's Menagerie. Mabel and I work together frequently, and we try to take care of all the little orphan critters that we find. Anyway, she was hoping to possibly expand into other cities, as it were, and she asked me to come out here and maybe look into setting up shop, is what she said. I'm not sure, but I do care for her and her little orphans. So, if there's anything I can do for her, I'd like to try.
There's two ways of getting money: work for it and earn it, or steal it.
Oh God, heaven forbid stealing it. That's horrifying.
Sure, that's what our little dragon friend here was going to suggest.
What? So, Cos, were you planning on stealing money from people?
No, that would be stupid. But I heard there is a great marketing feat recently.
Oh, damn it!
Do it for them. Do it for them. Do it for them. Be strong, Kahira.
The scent of defeat is very strong with this one. I just read the chat. Fuck, Kyle.
That's why I'm laughing.
A goblin, a kobold, a halfling walking to a bar. It was
Or,
the
it was
race.
great.
I'm sorry.
Oh, this is off to a great start already.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then the furball runs into it, hey.
Also, Hilo, yeah, I took some inspiration from that guy because that's what I imagined when I heard the word capitalism.
Okay. Now that I'm regaining my breathing,
Yeah.
um, now with introductions seemingly passed across, it isn't much longer before the door to the conference room opens and an intense-looking half-elf in plate armor enters. He stands wearing the holy symbol of Timora, the goddess of fortune, around his neck, its omen drawn. With no introduction, the CEO of Acquisitions Incorporated speaks. Thank you for answering my call so quickly. When the earthquake struck the city 2 days ago, damage was limited, but the sinkhole opened up a fissure beneath an abandoned warehouse in the dock ward. 2 City Watch guards entered the fissure to investigate, but never came out. They're now feared dead, and the City Watch has asked me to take over the investigation, but my schedule is complicated at the moment, so I'm delegating that job to you. As an experienced adventuring group, I have no doubt you can handle this task.
Wait,
Before you
no one
have
said anything
any-
about being experienced.
To respond, Omen drops a hefty bag of coins onto the table. The
Hello.
pay is 500 gold dragons for the group, with a 20% commission going to Acquisition Incorporated as the broker. Go to the warehouse next to Jolly's Lamp Emporium down by the docks. Tell the City Watch guard stationed there that I sent you, explore the fissure, learn the fate of the guards who went missing, and then come back to me with the signed City Watch papers confirming your completed work. Then, as quickly as he arrived, Omendron turns and leaves.
I feel like
have a question.
I feel like we're all just
Yeah.
sitting there standing, and as we start
Just
asking
staring.
questions, they just
I'm
close
just
the door.
staring at the back. Just looking at the back of gold deck.
What is
experienced.
an adventure?
If they say we're experienced. Shut up.
Uh,
Look at that gold.
well, no, I'm looking at the
Uh,
gold. That's why I'm not questioning it beyond that. But I'm also curious. What the hell did he just say? I missed literally all of that.
Something about going to an abandoned warehouse where 2 guards are now presumed dead.
I don't
We
know.
have to
I
investigate it.
I stopped hearing after 500 gold.
Well, you should have your priorities straight, and that's what's important in the eyes of God.
Also, I have plenty of experience. I'm 5 already.
Yes,
Yes, but have you gone outside of the city and killed things?
My God,
I've
we
been
have,
under the city.
we might have to kill things.
Well,
Oh,
yes.
I hope not. I detest violence.
Well, an adventurer goes and does quests for people, and I see them come in and out of the city all the time. They come in and out of the tavern. Some bring back horror stories of killing other things in the woods and surrounding towns. And I say things because they killed goblins. Probably. At least they say they did. I don't know how half of it is. What of it is true? It sounds like fish stories to me.
Nah, I don't usually kill, but hey, 20 gold is 20 gold.
What the hell? I mean, I thought they just gave me this freaking short sword as decoration. I didn't know I'd actually have to use the damn thing.
Yeah, I can shoot things with my bow, maybe stab it, but not very good at it.
You gotta be careful with that, because that means you have to be in stabbing range, and that's a very dangerous range to be at.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
you
they
miss
could
a
stab.
lot.
They could also stab you back.
That is true. I could sit up in a tree and shoot them if there are trees around. But given that we're going into some pit inside a house,
Oh, speaking of fishes, I should probably go visit a doctor at some point about this really weird one in a place I shall not mention because that will be a shame in the eyes of God.
is it a tattoo?
No,
Markings? It's an actual fish.
no, it's a fish. Yeah, it's like a rupture in a place I shall not mention.
Oh, okay.
It's in me booty.
I figured that.
Thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah, it's just one large crack that goes right up the middle. I don't know where it came from.
Right. Okay. So, there's a giant sack of money there. And we're obviously being paid to do a thing. I guess we should
Oh.
probably go do the thing.
Is this money?
It is, yes.
I don't leave my office, and dear sweet Lord, I feel less ignorant. Dear sweet, yes, this is money. These coins and these really odd shapes with the dragon on them. Yeah, that is money. You use them.
They
he
buy
just-
food, drink, clothes, weapons, armor,
Feet.
What is with you and feet? Seriously, feet?
feet.
Why feet?
I don't know.
If-
I heard there's a great market.
You
Or-
can pay people to kill people for you.
Oh, good God! People pay people to kill people? That makes no sense. Why would people take that money?
That's horrific.
Right? That's terrible. Why would people do that?
I don't
Don't
know.
know.
So they don't have to do it themselves.
there you go. Maybe they're not strong enough to do it themselves and need somebody killed, so they hire somebody to do it.
Well, they can hire whoever they want,
Well
but
enough.
they should always know that God is watching, and God does not appreciate such things.
What is this?
Maybe we don't have to kill anybody. Let's go to the docks and do whatever we have to do.
I suppose there's nothing else for it. It doesn't look like we're going to get money out censors from, who was that just came in the room? Did anybody catch his name?
No.
I don't know, I just know he was bald, had pointy ears, and was very
he
quick
looks
to
like
leave.
the guy on the wall over there. That picture over there, it looks like him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Is there a plaque underneath that has his name on it? I don't know.
No, but there's this...
There is.
Oh, yeah,
There
there's...
is indeed. There is a small plaque that says
shooting.
Omen Drawn. It is beset next to it with a portrait featuring a dark-haired man in purple robes, placard as Jim Dark Magic, followed by another man, a dwarf actually, placard with a horned helmet, saying Binwin Bronze Bottom. As you all take a moment to rise from your chairs, uncertainty, glancing about the room, glancing back towards the sack of gold as you seem set, or at least intent on rising to this course of action, a puff of smoke erupts from within the space in front of the Jim Dark Magic painting. As the haze disperses, a handsome figure steps forward. A man, dark-haired, purple robe, except he seems to be wearing a rather well-adorned set of glasses that truly conceals who he may or may not be.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, great
That's
disguise,
so
Clark
doing.
Kent.
Yeah, I know
You leave-
exactly.
He immediately goes into a short bow and says, "I'm no one you know, but I couldn't help but notice you stirred."
Why do you look like that picture that's right behind you?
What, that
Well,
picture?
he's
That's not him.
Well, I'm
This
told
guy's
that
wearing
he's-
glasses. That guy's not.
exactly. I'm
Really?
just-
Hold
you
on,
know-
let me take the picture off the wall really quick.
No,
Put
no, no.
your
Let's
glasses
not-
off
let's
his
not touch
face.
that.
Hmm.
More, I believe Omen just offered you all work, and I have a feeling you might not be the adventurers he thinks you are. Am I right?
I'm an accountant.
Hey, for
came
500
here-
gold, I am the adventurer you want, or
You're-
need,
Hey,
or
you're
don't
getting
want.
you're getting 125 because that's an even four-way split with 500 gold.
Minus
came-
20%.
And you can take 20% out.
Hey, for
later.
100 gold, I'm the adventurer you want, need, or whatever.
Good. You want my advice? Do the job. If you can pull it off, Omen will be so impressed that you'll have a leg up on everybody else trying to gain footing in the company.
What is with
Opportunity
Waterdeep and feet and legs and limbs? I don't understand this.
I don't know, but it's very concerning as I have
It
very
is weird.
long legs.
It's just part of the city culture. You learn to move with it. Fans of all sorts, you know.
Yes, you do move with your feet.
Yes, exactly. Thank you for understanding.
I don't understand. I
Look,
came here to help start up an orphanage.
that's wonderful, and I'd love to get some publicity with that later. But you've heard the phrase opportunity knocks? Well,
No.
this is opportunity hitting right to your door with a battering ram. Stand in that
Why would
doorway.
opportunity do
Let
that?
opportunity
That would
smash
ruin
its
my
way
door.
in.
Maybe less metaphor, more literal for her.
In other words, do the job. You have your money. You can start up your business. Maybe I can get out from under my parents. Who knows?
Exactly.
Your parents aren't here, and they're not on top of you.
There you go again. So
Are
you used,
are you feeling
Again,
all right?
I know.
you used the
literal.
metaphor and can't do that with this
Meaning,
one.
My parents have a business and need to work for them, but I don't want to. I want to go start my own business. So basically move out.
Ah. Hmm. Well, I guess we
But to
should
do
go
that, I need money,
see.
and this is money. So
Exactly. No better time than the present.
mhm.
Actually, I have a weird question. So, The percentage that our gentleman already supposedly is going to take from us for the payment here, I'm assuming he already took it because I already divvied out 125 gold for each of us.
Good.
That would be the accurate number, yes. However, all jobs are paid half up front and half afterwards to ensure completion.
Oh.
So what
So
you're
what
holding
is-
there is a bag of 200 gold.
Well, good thing I didn't actually count it out then. I just did it in my head. I'm an accountant.
Wait.
That's just what I do.
He said it was a bag of 500 gold.
Why would he
So
lie
what
to
are we
us?
getting paid 1,000?
It's
No,
not...
he said you will be paid on 500, but he never said the bag had 500.
Well, I was
Okay.
wondering why that looks so light.
Well then, I should get going. Maybe these docks will have some small animals that I can take in.
I carefully take the
hope.
bag of money. I pull off my backpack and I open it up. Anyone that peeks inside will see that it's really neatly arranged. It actually smells kind of good. Like it's got rations in a little compartment here and a bunch of tools and knickknacks here. A notepad, clipboard, and a bunch of pens in this little side pocket. Like it's absurd how well organized this is. So much so that I just nonchalantly, slowly kind of mold the bag of gold so it just neatly slides right in. Alright, I will count this later to divvy up equally amongst us. And then we're probably going to have a talk about future payments and how much we're actually getting paid, because now I'm confused, because this started off with 500, I've been informed that this is now 200, I'm informed there's a percentage that may or may not have been taken out. Like, dear sweet lord, where's a pay stub? Someone give me a pay stub, I'm so confused by this.
I am also very confused, but I trusted your skills. You sound like you know what you're doing.
I would hope so, I've been doing this for a while.
Numbers is way above my pay grade. But, if you'll excuse me, I hope you all have a magical day. And if allowed to, the man begins to attempt to leave the room inconspicuously. As
Wait, Jim?
there is a little moment where he immediately looks back and says, oh, no, I'm not Jim. I know I'm handsome, but not as handsome as he, obviously. But thank you for the confusion. And then immediately continues to try to escape.
What a strange man.
Yeah.
Totally.
I want a picture of myself to hang behind me.
I'm
I don't know why.
I'm not curious why he took his like cape thing and then draped it over his head. And just kept quietly whispering ninja as he left. That was weird.
Indeed.
That's how you stealth.
What's stealth?
Nope, or what? Yes.
Stealth is yes?
Stealth is just... No. No, that's being a chandelier.
Okay, so
Where?
my question, what is everybody's canon height?
About 3'5".
410.
3'5". Cobalt?
2-5.
2'5". Okay, Cobalt's the shortest. Got it.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna get smothered by motherly love and affection. Also, I feel weird.
That way.
I feel weird
So,
being the second tallest of the group suddenly.
Second tallest is a relative term. You're the second tallest, but still 5 feet under.
Yeah.
If you're under 5 feet, you're still short.
We look like a horde
So-
of orphans being carried around by mom.
Yeah, speaking of which, as we leave, Kahira will absent-mindedly, pick up, sort of sweep him off his feet and sort of, carry as she, puts him up over her shoulder, her giant shoulder. She's just kind of doing this automatically, she doesn't even realize it. It's just oh, there's a tiny little animal. Here, we've got to keep it from being stepped on.
Hey, I'm
She's-
not an animal. I'm a
and
person.
she's going to walk, and it's just
Hey, I
going to
didn't say
kind
you-
of keep going like that.
I didn't say to stop, just I'm not an animal.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You're just so tiny and adorable. I suppose my maternal instinct kicked in.
Shut up. But keep doing it.
And thus, Sir Koss has discovered his new fetish.
Exactly.
Mommy
Manage,
doms.
little one.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I signed up for this because it sounded kind of like a fun like side gig for my other job, but this actually sounded like legitimately kind of dangerous. Like, but I mean, my other choice was literally the Census Bureau of Waterdeep, and frankly, you don't want to do that job. You never want to do. They offered me a supervisor position. Nah. I heard some nightmare stories of that. Like, you're giving a freaking sending stone that never goes off. I swear. Like, all hours of the day, the damn thing is buzzing just on your table. It's weird.
Grim, you are a master at laughing at pain.
You have no idea. I've had many years of experience. It's like, hey, you know what would be funny for a joke? My life.
All right. So I guess we head on out to the dock. Do we even know where it is?
Oh, yeah, it's just south. And then literally either east or west when you hit water.
That is
Sounds simple
not
enough.
wrong.
Sounds simple enough.
I mean, you know which way south is, right?
Yeah, if you walk, there is like a 70% chance you'll reach the docks. It's Waterdeep.
Or you'll hit a wall, in which case you follow the wall, and eventually you'll hit a door. You go past the door, and you keep going until you hit water, at which point you just follow the water. Then you're at the docks. Waterdeep's really simply laid out, strangely enough. Just avoid these...
Accidentally.
Well, just avoid this alley that's blue, apparently. I hear some weird things about that.
It's a first stop.
Fuck that.
God damn.
You guys avoided it for so long. I'm forcing you to do it in the side quest.
No.
Plot twist!
We'll build up for that. Okay. So you guys begin your journey southward, leaving the headquarters of Acquisitions Incorporated, Waterdeep Branch, trademarked. You begin southward, navigating your way through the streets as they twist and turn from fine cobble of the castle ward into the rough-hewn stone and the rougher buildings around of the dock ward. It quickly becomes a maze of rough streets, seedy tenements, and alleyways as you begin trying to navigate your way here and there. And at a certain point, you begin losing where you're supposed to go. You're aware that the sinkhole is somewhere in a warehouse next to some sort of lamp store in the dock ward, but you yourselves don't seem to have the navigation of the dock ward to find your way there immediately. In fact, pretty sure you rounded the same store before as you stop and glance at a ramshackle stall set up along the street, bearing the sign Maps and Potions. Working the stall is a filthy but cheerful gnome urchin. Several pieces of parchment are on display in the stall, with 6 small ceramic pots placed next to them.
I'm sorry, did you say urchin?
Yes, I said urchin.
Like,
Oh no.
Like-
an actual urchin?
No, like an orphan.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, no, gnome urchin.
I
I
a
thought
gnome
you're-
merchant.
Urchin.
Oh, urchin.
Yeah,
Urchin.
as in somebody that.
Like Oliver Twist.
Yes, there you go.
Yes, yeah.
Aww.
I thought your build-up was for something related to your character there for a
I
minute.
did
I
too
I'm
for
know.
a
now-
moment.
I'm now thinking that, but I thought it was like a literal urchin, and I was like, there's a sea anemone running a stall? What?
I mean, it's Waterdeep. Would you be that surprised?
No.
Exactly.
And just for clarification, it is spelt as
You
maps
are
and
Steve.
potions.
Yeah.
Aww.
Potions.
Now tell me the P is
Aw.
backwards.
Oh, it is.
Yes,
it
it is.
absolutely is.
Sure, that makes sense.
Oh, goodness. Hello there, little one. No need to be afraid. How are you?
The gnome looks up from his recent piece of parchment that he was storing away underneath the ramshackle stall into the shins rather of a giant, and then slowly sweeping up towards the eyes of this furball standing over top of him.
She's going to like kneel down so that she's more eye level with him and hand him a good berry. Here, you look absolutely famished. Here, try one of these. They're good. I promise.
Hesitantly, the small urchin takes the good berry and pops it in his mouth with relish as he chews upon the fruity magic. He goes, "Thank you. To shop, I have maps and potions. Self-made, you know. The potions, that is."
I'm all curious. Do you have a permit for this stall?
What is a permit?
It's in the name, permit, so that he is permitted to actually have his stall and do business here in his stall with his stall. It's a piece of paper
Why would he need permission to?
because he
You're
doesn't.
strange.
No, I just know what the laws are because I've had to study them, and I'm an accountant.
We do seem to be a bit lost. We're looking for the dock board. And, these maps of yours, they show where to go. Yes, I believe I've seen these before. Yes. I would definitely like to purchase one of your maps, specifically one to help us get to, what was it called again? The pit?
I don't know. Honestly, the guy spoke so fast, I wasn't able to get to my pen, my paperwork, and write it down. I just remember docks. I remember Fisher, and I remember the guy leaving very quickly before I had a question to ask.
It was quite strange. Anyway, do you have a map of the dock board, young man?
The young gnome, takes a moment to glance down at the papers around his table before selecting one, and nodding and circling a small area on it, saying, "Yeah, if you just follow this," and he draws a short line that seems to originate back towards his stall. It takes a few shortcuts that's probably more familiar for him, being alleyways here and there, but it possibly leads to where you're intending to go. He says, I sell these for a gold piece each, and the potions for 10. I could give you both for 11.
What's the potion do?
It's a potion of healing.
For 10 gold, that's
Better.
That's
That's
quite a
so
deal.
wonderful. Yes, I will absolutely take those.
Are you sure this work? The potion it is.
Yes.
Inside.
Yes, go for it.
Inside. Yeah, I'm about to say.
I
Wow,
believe
that's
him.
on point. Yes.
Man, that's a deal. I want it. Give me one.
Yes, you are enraptured with this gnome's apparently charismatic ability, despite being a lonely urchin on the street, to somehow make magical healing on his own.
Yeah, I bought it.
Clever,
And then
brave little boy.
I've been mumbling down, hey, fool, I can sell this for at least 25. I'm a genius.
I love this kobold.
Me too.
So I've heard of one purchase for one of the healing potions from Maps and Potions. Anybody else purchasing something?
Kahira is purchasing a map and a potion.
All right, so that's 2 potions.
She
and a
is
map.
still continuing to dote on the little boy, maybe like cleaning the dirt off of his face, fixing his hair, while just kind of like mentioning how clever he is about what he's done and how he's so brave to be out here all on his own.
Hey, how old are you?
Here, please give me an insight check as you're doing this.
Okay.
Or actually, let's instead make this a perception check.
Oh god, he's gonna steal from me, I know it.
Either that or this little gnome orphan is not so much an orphan, but is a gnome.
Oh,
You notice the beard.
You notice the 5 o'clock shadow.
10, you're attempting to clean him up here and there, but he's quickly fixing his hair back to where it was. It seems like he likes it to be a slight mess. Maybe he's one of those younger gnomes that just wants people to think he doesn't care. And as much as you run your hands over the dirt, it doesn't really pick up from his face. It's likely stuck there from ages of being there or something else, and he's a little cleaned up, but he's definitely not getting cleaned up with a solid bath anytime soon. I've heard 2 potions, each one coming in their small ceramic pot.
Yeah, I'll buy one too.
Handmade
Why not?
and a map.
I have no reason to doubt that this gnome is anything but a gnome just trying to make some money with some quote-unquote healing potions.
Okay, so
Potions.
that's 3 potions and a map. Anything else?
I'm
No.
gonna be so happy this is actually a healing potion.
I'm not going
Right?
to be surprised
What
when
if
it's not.
actually a healing?
I'm not gonna be surprised that it's not going for that cheap.
No, I expect that it's not a healing potion, but if it is, it's gonna be so funny.
Nah,
Yeah.
I got muffins. Good berries that my father made. I turned into muffins.
All right, well, you take care, little one, and do keep up the brave face. It sounds like you're doing a wonderful job on your own. I know it's scary to be all on your own and out in this wide world. If you ever feel scared, do try to seek me out. I always have a place for another little orphan.
And for God's sakes, get a freaking permit. If a city guard walks by and asks to see when you got one, they're just going to throw you in jail.
Looking a tad scared for that, but reassured by Kahira's ability to be motherly. The small little gnome, whose name I don't think you guys actually got.
I don't
who-
think he introduced himself, no.
He did not. He's not used to society.
Random
He's not-
gnome or urchin of Waterdeep, number 724.
Yeah, there you go.
You can see that on the map is signed in a small smudge of a name is the word Jer, which is likely his name, or at least something akin to his name. He nods bravely, and you all are free to leave his small, quaint shop.
Bye, Chair. Know that you have the thanks of Kahira.
And go with God. God bless. God be with you. And you have a fantastic rest of your day.
Okay. As soon as we're out of sight, she's going to pop open one of the potions and give it a whiff.
Jesus Christ.
I am good at medicine.
All right, DM. So, give us a spiel. It's watered down vodka, isn't it?
I hope it's a.
It's just red Everclear.
Okay, so popping open the potion as you are and giving it a quick smell, it does appear initially to look much like a potion of healing, or at least what you may expect one to look like, as I don't know how often Kahir has made one herself, but considering they're made with herbalism, perhaps quite often. It is colored red, as one would expect. However, there is a faint fruity aroma that's not common with potions. It actually smells quite familiar, and rather than a medicine check, I am going to ask for a check using your spellcasting ability. Just whatever that is. The wisdom?
Wisdom.
Yes. I'm going to ask for one of those, please.
Whiz check.
Let's see. It's not saving throw.
Oh, that's right.
Uh,
Medicine's intelligence, isn't it? That's weird. Wait, is it intelligence?
No, it's
medicine is
medicine
wisdom.
is wisdom.
Nature is intelligence.
Medicine is wisdom. Well,
Yeah.
okay. My
It'd
mistake.
just be minus your, and if you're proficient with it, it'd be minus your proficiency, but
Actually going to lucky roll that.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, we have somebody with lucky. Okay.
Oh, crap, I
oh,
forgot.
I naturally have lucky, so
Yeah,
Well, a
that's
different
better.
kind of lucky.
Oh, for natural ones.
same thing.
19. Excellent. Okay, so with the
Yeah.
19, you actually recognize the smell as a smell of a good berry.
Oh
It's a
my
potion of good berry?
goodness.
It's a good berry potion. I make muffins and cakes out of good berries, so essence of good berry. It's how I make my cakes and pies.
I'm like, this is good berry juice. Oh, what a lovely
What?
little boy.
What's a
Are
good
you
berry?
telling me this potion is not real?
No,
It's a
it's
potion.
just as good. It's just as good. See, good berries are a magically created berry that offer healing and sustenance to oneself. The one that I gave to the little boy earlier, it both restores any injuries one might have to your stomach for an entire day. They're quite good. That he has distilled them into a juice is really quite astounding.
You know how many days I can eat with 10 gold?
Hmm?
You know how many days I can eat with 10 gold?
Let me think. Given the
10?
current market and judging from your outfit, you look like you're living in squalor. Subtract the 2, go for taxes. Actually, for 10 gold, shit, you could eat for a month.
And let me ask, are you guys having this conversation as you're continuing your walk, following the map
Of course
provided
we
by
are.
Lord
Yes,
Bear?
of course
Oh,
we are.
yeah.
We're dumber than a box of rocks right now.
I'm an accountant.
I mean, if you're smart, you can eat for more. You just buy bread and you make crumbs and you catch the rats and then you eat the rats.
Oh my god, why would you eat rats? That's disgusting.
Depends on how you cook them.
What the? Depends how you cook. Why would you cook a rat to eat it? That's disgusting.
Because I'm not an animal. I cook them.
But the disease-ridden vermin.
You know, I
Yeah.
had some goblins that actually enjoy rats.
Oh my god, why? That's just
They taste like
ew,
chicken.
ew, ew. Gross. I'm a vegetarian. God, that's gross. Ew.
Six, the vegetarian. I feel like he's got all these personalities just buried away in his head, and now they're finally breaking free.
From his apparent clones that managed to skip away when he did mirror image or something, or a silent image,
Yeah.
and gain sentience.
No. There's only 1 sticks. No more sticks. No more than 1.
There could be up to 6 sticks.
Alright, so let me grab some new friends.
Oh boy, I could always use new friends. Friends are friendly. Maybe they'll help me, learn something new about God, or learn something new about my job, about life, and just be a general good experience.
Do you want to learn something about gods? I have gods, the best gods. Do you want some gods? I have gods. Many gods. All the gods.
I mean,
The best gods.
there are many gods. There's just so many of them. So
Yeah,
why
they're
not
not the best ones.
Well, I mean, they're all pretty good. There's not really a best one per se. They're all just there, and they all do certain things. Some just do them better than others.
Well, I can fix shit with my god. And make shit. And sell that shit. I have the best shit.
I don't want your shit. Sorry.
What is
Shit
fecal?
is good fertilizer.
You're lost.
But
What is-
you shouldn't swear, young one, and she's going to boot your snoot.
Hey, I'm an adult. I'm already 5.
God. Already 5. You hear that?
Only 5 years of age and already such a problem.
Hey,
We
I
so
have
much
children
work
to
on.
feed. Leave me alone.
I can't wait to
Little
feed.
one, your species can live to be over 500.
Yeah, but we don't.
You can, but we don't. Oh,
I
Jesus.
don't know how to respond to that.
That's the best response for that. Reach adulthood at about age 6 and can live up to 120 years, but rarely do so. Verbatim, that's what it says.
Yep,
Oh my god.
but we don't.
I love kobolds.
Kobolds for you, man.
Yap.
Okay.
Did you know the kobolds can change gender if you give them enough time?
What?
It's canon. I've checked everywhere. They can somehow.
Oh, that's
Oh my God.
weird.
You know, they die
It's
so
like
often.
frogs.
Yeah, they die so often that sometimes the colony have too many males or too many females, so they switch.
Oh, like that species of frog they used for the DNA in Jurassic Park, and that's why things went to hell.
Yes.
Yep.
It's really kobold DNA. That's what fucked it everything up.
Mhm.
You have no idea what is gonna happen in the future. Kobolds.
So you guys have begun following the map as it begins to lead you down a few more narrow streets ways until you're turning down, watching as one of the rare city guard patrols that you see pass you by as you flip down to another alley. And it's down this alley as you round the bend that you begin to see a few faces just hanging out, really just making the alleyway their own. And as you step forward to continue along their path, one of them draws away from the wall, a few others flanking along beside it, and a figure stands before you, its luminous eyes glowing beneath a dark hood. As the hood is pulled away to reveal a skeletal face, the figure unexpectedly speaks, "Your money or your life?" in a definable feminine tone.
No.
My money is my life, bitch.
I mean, honestly, money is
I-
just this object. I mean, I like money, don't get me wrong, it buys me a lot of things, but I mean, it's not really worth stabbing someone over.
I don't have money. Have a muffin. They're good.
She has
I baked
muffins.
them this morning.
She baked them this morning. They're fantastic. Have a muffin. Enjoy and be with God.
Delicious.
The skeletal figure, as it seems to be, stalks forward another step and says, "Does it look like I can eat a muffin? Are you making fun of my allergies?"
No.
You have allergies? To what?
No, sir.
To everything. I mean, look at me.
I mean,
What,
What
what,
is
what are
wrong
you
with
going to
you?
do with money then?
yeah, that's a good question. I mean, if you're allergic to literally everything, that means you can't really go and purchase things with money. In fact, it means you're allergic to money. So why would you
Pretty
want money?
much.
Why would you want something you're allergic to if you're allergic to everything?
You allergic to that robe you're wearing? Oh, you must be in constant pain.
She begins to pull forward a short sword, bashed at her side, and holds it aloft in a what is likely supposed to be a threatening manner, but the conversation so far has begun to dilute her what may have once been a terrifying figure to some people.
Hey, hold on. This is okay. I can make you a hypoallergenic cloak. Come on, I bet the best cloaks.
You
Also,
really-
it will be metal, but it's fine.
You really-
She holds this. Sorry, go ahead.
Nothing. That was just gonna be a gag. Go ahead.
She holds the sword aloft and says, "One last time, your money or your life?"
Why do you want our money?
Yeah, what will you do with it? It's only just gonna get taxed.
I mean, that's what I'm asking. I mean, it's a legitimate question. What do you want with our money?
Are you
What good is
aware?
it going to do?
Are you aware that unless you're specifically
Like-
chartered by the Thieves Guild, the city guard will take a good solid, almost 75% tax cut for any theft and or robbery, be it strong
Wait,
arm or anything else?
Wait. They don't take all of it?
No, they don't take
They
all of it. They
might.
let you keep at least 25%. That said, you're going to end up spending that mostly on, the hospitalization bills that they're going to put you through after they're done beating the crap out of you. That's just how they work.
Oh.
It's something of a racket. That's why we had the Thieves Guild. So that they can actually keep the majority of the wealth that they have accumulated through strong arm robbery. It's a fantastic system, actually.
It's because it's a guild, and they can get away with it.
Exactly. It's kind of like a union.
So if you think about it, we are actually giving you a favor by not giving you our money. See?
I mean, do you have a card or any such representation that you are, in fact, a member of the Thieves Guild?
We've really turned this.
And
There's a guy-
I would
Fucking
love,
accountant.
I would love to thank my reading of Discworld and every subsidiary of that freaking series of why I even thought of this gag. Because that's literally how the Thieves Guild operates. They are literally run by the hierarchy in order to
Yeah.
safely promote crime.
Mhm.
Seemingly at a loss of words one moment, and then growing increasingly frustrated, the skeleton shakes her short sword towards you all, prompting her fellows behind her to begin stepping forward and says, "That's it. I'm not playing any games with you. We're getting that money, boys."
Who's playing
Wait,
a game?
so she
Oh, shit.
is...
Yeah.
Is she an actual skeleton?
Yeah, she's legit
Like,
skeleton.
not just, like, super thin, but an actual skeleton.
Oh,
Yes,
God.
like actual bone.
That's the
Oh
one.
shit.
Poor thing.
Somebody didn't feed her properly. That's why I tried to offer her a muffin.
Yeah, but she says she's allergic to everything.
I know. What does she want gold for?
I don't know. I'm curious how she's allergic to anything. I mean, honestly, she can't break out in hives or anything like that. She has no skin. How does she even know she's allergic?
That is also true.
Also, we're gonna fucking die.
You are.
Oh, don't worry, you have Kahira here with you.
I...
Right.
I-
Who
uh,
has a 17 and probably can't hit very hard like the rest of us.
Unless you plan on
I'm only a
smothering them.
measly level 1.
Unless you
I
plan on
mean-
smothering them with your bosom, I don't think it's going to do much.
I mean, level 1 spell for me. Entangle is, to me, it's the best level 1 spell ever.
Shillelagh?
It's a cantrip.
Level 1. That's
Shillelagh,
cantrip. But
yeah, Shillelagh is honestly one of the best cantrips.
Shillelagh is
Mm.
next to freaking Eldritch Blast. Shillelagh is
Oh
the best.
god, I just. What if you make a druid, and you have like a
No.
wooden?
No. There's no need to come closer to me with the sharp pointing objects. That's okay. Fun fact: I'm actually allergic to sharp pointing objects
What is an
and to stabbing.
object a mom will use to beat up, the children?
A paddle.
Yeah, that's what
A,
she used.
a switch.
I mean, I was thinking of
The crop
well,
whip?
this is a fucking flip flop, but that's
Flip-flop.
A flip flop. Well, it depends. In Florida, yes. In Florida, we beat our kids with flip flops. I mean, because that's what we're wearing, and we can take it off our foot very easily. And just
You can try as well.
yeah, you can throw it. too.
I've seen a kid get sniped with a flip flop. It was the most hilarious thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
We call it chancla.
Following the skeleton's command, you see 4 men wearing similar dark cloaks as her begin to rush forward from behind her and beside her towards you all. Unfortunately, their speed is not the best, and they will not reach you this round. And it goes to Kahira as the 4 armed figures begin to close in, each bearing a scimitar, as obvious to their intention to harm.
Could you not have the intention to harm though? Because I don't like being harmed. I'm an innocent goblin. Here, quickly, go smother them with your breath.
I don't have any gold anyway. I don't know why they think I have gold.
I don't know why they think I have. Oh, I do have gold. I'm carrying the payment.
There you go.
I was really hoping
Bingo.
it wouldn't come to blows, but suppose if combat must commence, combat must commence.
Yeah.
So targeting the skeleton. Very well then, abomination against nature. You shall be slain this day.
That's harsh.
Yeah.
Holy
Tell
shit.
I thought you didn't like to kill things.
I think she just did kill things. I think she might have killed 3 things. Or at least
No,
2
hold
things.
on. That is not a nice knife. That is a nice flip flop.
That's an ice flip flop.
It's a nice knife.
It's a
So-
nice knife.
Remind me, that strikes doing 3 piercing damage and then does 10 cold to both the creature it struck and the adjacent ones, or just the
Yes.
adjacent ones?
It does.
I think both.
I
it
don't
does
remember.
both to the initial target and then only the 2d6 to the other.
But I think it's a fail suck spell.
Yeah, it's a sucker save. It really is.
Oh, I see. So I still have to get a deck save here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You have to get a dex save.
It's
Because I believe
depend-
the initial damage, the initial piercing damage, comes from the attack.
It comes
Then
from
the
the
extra.
attack.
Yeah, and
And
the cold damage comes from the save.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
weird.
No. The cold damage. Well, yeah, I think so. You'd have to read the spell.
I'm reading
Yeah,
it
I
right
think
now.
that's how it is.
Yeah, I
The
wanna bring it up
piercing
real quick.
happens when you hit, and the cold happens when it explodes with the dex save.
Which
Yeah.
it will
Right,
explode
yeah,
on hit or miss, literally on whatever target it is. So there's still a guarantee.
Right, so
There's
yeah.
like you got 2 chances to do damage to something with this thing. It's
It's not
weird.
guaranteed because if
I
he
would
saves,
get-
it's no damage. I think.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
I
it's no
saved it.
damage if it's
Yeah,
safe.
it's no
Like I said,
damage
it's a
on
sucker save.
All right. So the bandits failed their save and are going to take 10.
Cold damage.
It's a good roll.
Made her save, so she takes the 3 piercing, but not the following 10.
That's a big flip flop.
So yeah, so like a giant icy javelin will suddenly like sprout in the air before it, and she just points, and it goes forward, and explodes afterwards, sending icy shards into them.
Okay. The shards pierce and lance forward, shattering into the 2 bandits adjacent, nearly dropping them, in fact, as blood spurts from obvious wounds moving up their side, one on the left side, one on the right side, as they recoil from the onslaught. The 2 bandits in front suddenly look a lot less sure about their capabilities here and what they're doing, attacking people that apparently know magic, though the skeleton seems somewhat determined. It looks as though the 2 bandits in the back are going to begin falling back.
And she'll look on ahead and at all of them sternly and simply say, "Don't make me kill you."
Holy crap,
And
you're
that will
freaking
be
scary,
the end of
lady!
Also, he's already
Hey,
dead.
somebody's attempting to hurt her babies. Mama Bear's mad.
Not a baby. I have kids to feed.
I'm
But
4
I
foot
thought
10.
you didn't like to hurt people.
I don't like magic. Magic is the devil's work.
No, it's not.
It really is, though.
Sometimes it is.
No, it's
And
not. Depends.
that will be the end of
Yeah.
my turn.
Okay.
The only
So
good
nature.
magic is divination.
It comes from nature, so it's still good.
Nature is a
From the
dangerous
gods,
thing, too.
So it's gooder.
There are nature gods. If you believe in them all,
I believe in most gods. Mostly they revolve around wealth.
Suddenly wary of the situation, the skeleton draws backwards, just a step, as she drops her short sword in favor of a short bow that she plucks from her back, and fires once forward towards Kahira, as the person that's obviously dangerous on this field. If it rolls, I have a 15 to hit Kahira
Ooh, that just hits my AC of 14.
for a meager 4 piercing as the arrow skids across a shoulder blade.
And now you're
Ouch.
half dead.
I'm
And
half
now
dead.
half dead.
Oof.
Weapons are dangerous. Don't play with them.
Yep.
Level 1 reminds you
Don't
of
play
this.
with ones you don't understand how to use.
God, that means if they took 10 cold damage, these
Yeah, they're actually
They're
pretty
bad.
hardy.
they have
Yeah,
more
they're a
HP
little-
than me. Fuck.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Level 1. We suck.
Oof.
You're getting a feel for the thing, but if I could offer, the bandits don't seem intent on fighting to the death. The ones that are already injured are obviously looking a bit scared and intending to fall back. This is somebody roughing you up, murder you.
I have a few questions, but I get to that in my turn because are we in daylight?
You.
I never asked about the time.
That's fair. It was day when you got your interview. It is still day. However, you are in one of the shadowed alleys of a dock ward where buildings have been built so close together that the roofs sometimes connect. And though dim light peeks through enough to be illuminating this area, you are not under effect of your sunlight.
Nice.
I guess it's my turn then, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm literally just watching this half giant fucking just fuck up these poor people with the magic, and I'm struggling to just get my short sword out. It's like, get this fucking oh, you know how to use this thing, damn it! There it is. Okay, all right, you asked for it. I tell you what, I mean, I'm gonna hurt you, man. I don't want to do this. Holy shit! I think I did it.
No.
I think you did.
Well, he heard it.
You hurt it. You didn't kill it, but you hurt it.
Persistent giggles because I can. Add a 1 to that for Fury of the Small.
Okay. Oops, I nearly just added an extra 5. One.
Oh, you can add 5. I'm not gonna mind.
You can add 5. It's great. Yeah.
Oh, dear sweet lord, I'm so sorry. I didn't actually mean to stab you. Holy shit. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna back up into the corner. No, he does not get an attack of opportunity because,
Well,
mobile.
Mobile.
mobile. Yeah.
What
Fucking
is
rogues
your
with
class
mobile.
for this stick?
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Rogue. It's a
It's a
rogue.
rogue.
It's always a
It's
rogue.
always a rogue.
It's always a
It's
rogue.
always a rogue.
It's always a rogue. In fact, I'm gonna go over here and hide behind the other small folk who are smaller than me and the big woman.
Fair
Right.
enough.
Uh-huh.
That brings us to Zafina.
Zafina's gonna pull out her bow and shoot the skeleton lady. You should have taken the muffin and left us alone.
Jesus.
15 strikes for 8 as it lances into and through her robe, skidding across her rib cage on the inside, I'm sure.
And she's going to move over here. Out of range of that bow of hers. Well, I mean, she's probably still visible, you know. On the other side of the wall.
I just like how all these small people are hiding behind the big mama bear.
Yeah, we're all.
Nobody hurts my babies.
You heard her. We're her babies. She's gonna hurt you if you touch us.
So cool.
Dear God.
They are probably trying to run right now, right?
Oh, probably.
Most the ones in the back certainly. The ones in front, one looks uncertain. One is he's gonna follow his allies probably, but he's looking like he's raring to fight still. He hasn't been touched. I mean,
I'm gonna get up to here, and I'm gonna start making fun of their armor, saying that mine is better. Like, what the fuck is this? I can make better. My armor better. Look. And I cast as a bonus action Shield of Faith on myself. And as an action, it says gravel, cover, and bed, but I'm distracting them by how annoying I am
How
by telling
annoying.
them that
That's a nice
their armor is
touch.
shit, then mine's better. Look, armor better. Look, you see, hit me. I dare you, bitch, hit me. And that's my
dear.
turn.
Oh man.
It's okay. They have shitty weapons. They won't go through armor. I made it.
Oh, what
Big
how
armor.
brave you are.
Big armor. Big armor. Oh, that's so good.
the heavily wounded bandits are going to immediately fall backwards as they're trying to get away from an obvious source of damage here. The one that has not been touched is going to make an attack against Sirkos. Actually, here, let me just do this real quick.
Are we doing flanking?
We can. Do you guys
Plus
want
one?
to do the simplified advantage or the +1?
Let's stick with
Right now, +1.
right now, +1. Let's stick with +1.
You're asking us at a time where we have a very bias to the decision.
That's fair, but I know this decision now would also affect you guys in the future, I'm sure. So,
That's true.
I heard
I'm
+1.
fine with either.
Either one is fine, to be honest with you.
2 definite for +1 and 2 indecisive, so +1.
+1?
Yeah.
So the one on the north is going to attack with his scimitar.
Okay.
He has
Misses.
Seeing his apparent loss, he's going to backtrack.
Wait, is the kobold the tank?
Yes.
Yeah, the kobold
Yeah,
is
the
there.
HP
kobold is
right
this-
now is 21.
Fucking what?
Ooh.
Yes, I took this, so I have.
Oh god damn it.
Also,
took
where do you think
what?
you're going?
Jesus Christ.
These guys just barely hanging on here.
I rolled a 1.
He's gonna finish his movement. The one in the south is going to make his movement, or not his movement, his attack. Would you believe that he actually got a 21?
Damn it.
Wow.
Yeah, actually,
much?
because we're level 1.
3 slashing.
Ow.
How about I say what? Yeah, there we go. That's the part I was worried about.
He suddenly begins to realize that his fellows are not here, and he's like, "Are we doing this? Are we not?" And he begins to make his way towards the apparent escape that's happening here. Kahira, the enemies seem to have been turned. They are fleeing. The skeleton, seemingly upset, is also seemingly intent on following along with them. So what you do now is your choice.
Nobody hurts my babies and gets away with it.
Oh no. Mama Bear mode activated. Eagle talons out. Murder commence.
She will bring her mace to bear and attempt to take a swing at this Jelaine.
That roar.
Shillelagh? Oh, just wait.
So if that's a skeleton that just got whacked pretty good with a good hearty whack with a mace of bludgeoning damage, I don't think it's gonna survive.
I don't think it's gonna survive, yeah.
I'm having flashbacks. Yep, there we go. I'm having flashbacks of Matthias. He didn't have a mace available, but he certainly made one out of another skeleton.
The skeleton immediately begins to crumple as the mace seems to find the soft under ribs and simply crushes in the chest as it falls to the floor. The bandits, hearing the fall from behind as they had turned to run, look back and says, "Oh my God, they killed Jelaine!
What do you mean killed her? She was already dead.
You
Yeah.
monsters! You murdered her!"
She was
Really?
literally a
Before-
monster.
She was already dead. She's just
Uh.
reanimated or something.
I'm not sure how skeletons work. It's weird. Anyway,
I don't either.
I mean,
Leave before you're next.
there we go. Actually, no. I want to be behind Mama Bear. I just gotta peek up between her legs. Yeah, yeah. You see, she showed you. Yeah, you better run. Well, I'm gonna do the stabbing again. You better get out of here. Yeah. And just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna like fumble around and somehow pull my short bow and fire a shot off. Thank God. I was scared that was actually gonna hit something. Does that actually hit something, Hylock? Tell me that doesn't hit something. That's 11.
No.
Okay,
that doesn't
good.
hit it.
Yeah, I just fumble around, fire off a stray shot. I'm barely even looking. Just goes, yeah, get out of here. You better run.
That leads us to Zafina. The guys seem to be aghast that Jelena has apparently died, but they seem still intent on fleeing. But you're welcome to either hunt them down or get a last shot in or whatever else you.
She'll pull out her bow. She'll pull back on her bow. If you guys don't leave now, well, I'm not responsible for what happened.
Yeah, we sick the bear on you. I just point up again as I'm sitting between Kinnear's red legs.
Well, yes, that too, but, you know, if you die, it's your own fault.
I'm assuming that's a ready to action then.
It's a ready to action, yeah.
Okay, that leaves Circos as the last one before the bandits make their bend around the corner and turn to flee.
I'm gonna hide behind the conga line and hold a cantrip.
The conga line.
Yeah,
The
all of
pink-
that.
We are.
I mean, they're gonna flee.
We're just a fantastic group of cowards in this.
Okay. If unperturbed or unhindered, the bandits turn, make their flee down an adjacent alleyway, and disappear into the multitude of bends and back alleyways that they, familiar with Waterdeep, would know. And that leads you guys to completing the first encounter. Congrats! Nobody died except for Jeline.
And yeah. Poor thing, they injured you. Here, quick, eat these nice berries.
Nah, I'm fine. I'm big armor, and you see his legs are kind of shaking.
Oh dear,
Also,
you're
gimme.
trembling with fright. Here. Yes.
I'm not afraid.
I am.
Gimme.
I am very afraid.
She will give you 3 good berries, 1 HP each.
Oh,
Sweet.
Brings them down to 6 good berries left. And she will take 2 herself.
Okay.
oh yeah, that's right. They give you 1 HP per good berry. I forgot they do that.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Isn't that also like?
Good berries are good.
I forgot. That's just a yeah.
Oh no, you're somehow even more injured.
Ah,
It was a
Did my good
poisonous good
berries go
berry.
wrong?
berries are poisoned. Poisoned me. How
Wait.
could you?
Don't we also have those potions that the kid sold?
Potions, yeah.
Well, yeah, but the potions
Potions.
cost money, and I can just make good berries from sprigs of mistletoe.
Well, yeah. I mean, like I said, that's what Zafina makes her muffins out of. Or
Right.
good berries.
Also,
Juice of good berry.
right? I mean, that's a good thing too. Also, holy shit, were we almost mugged? That was frightening.
Yeah. I don't have any money on me anyway, so you know.
That's because I'm carrying the money. I probably shouldn't carry the money.
I just don't know how they knew we had money on us. I mean,
And,
they know.
well, they didn't seem like authentic Thieves Guild members because, see, it's funny because the way the Thieves Guild works is that the hierarchy actually informs the guild anytime there's a payment given to any partial citizen of the current status quo, at which point the information is given to the Thieves Guild for a proper mugging or strong arm robbery.
Well, they didn't seem like Thieves Guild members because they were too scared. Would a Thieves Guild member run away?
No, and honestly, they're more polite about it. Like, they actually go through this whole entire spiel and speech that they get trained for in day one. They even have a
There's
card.
extra work that they show.
And I thought the wilds of the forest were dangerous. Stay close to me, little ones. I'll protect you.
Trust me, I don't think you have to worry about us being far from you. You are my mama bear now. I say that as I literally just kind of cling to her leg like a child. She
Yes,
stomps
I
away.
am. And she will gently, like, rub the top of your head in a motherly way.
I feel so safe right now.
I will keep you that way.
Oh, good.
Now then, let's head off to the dock.
Also, did anyone else feel like a really weird familiar sensation in attempting to murder another person? No? Just me? Okay. I was hoping that wasn't going to be as weird as it sounded in my head, but it turns out that's very weird.
The only thing that we killed was an abomination against nature.
We lost Erat.
Yep.
Oh no, we did.
We did indeed.
Damn it. This
It was too much for him.
Too much.
Well, with Erat stepping out for a moment and with your first encounter under your belt,
Oh, there he is.
Erat!
Hello.
Might take a moment for him to actually connect proper.
Yeah.
I was about to say, how about we take a quick 5-minute break? Halfway
Okay.
through?
Yeah, sure.
Sounds
Break?
good.
Yeah,
I need
just
to
a quick
go
break.
5 minutes.
Eat some food real quick. I'll be right back.
Cool.
No. Chocolates.
Okay, I have returned. Probably slightly too early. Yeah, I only got 3 minutes. Although, Grim doesn't seem to have muted or deafened himself, so I wonder if his stream is still running. Huh. Do, do, do.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
This thing is like a module, right? Like a full-on campaign you can play.
It is like a yeah,
It's pretty long.
thing. It's split into several like episodes, is what it calls them. Bigger than we probably need for just something we do once in a while. Haters. So.
Sure.
Oh, hey.
Hey,
Yeah,
I
I
never-
really like the theme.
In different ways.
Kobolds are fun, man. It's like the be cool.
I'm
Wait.
back.
I didn't know that there are like racial archetypes for kobolds. I mean, I know kobolds are like famous for making traps and shit and ambushes.
Oh, excuse me.
So
Bless you.
an Erd kobold is a winged kobold. Basically, they actually have.
Yeah, but that's not allowed.
Yeah, I'm sorry, that's me. I can't deal well with flying, but
No, I understand. It's a pretty common rule. Flying is OP at level 1 through who knows.
Well, I mean, I would do it where you don't have the ability to fly just yet until you reach a certain level, too. So
I mean, you can make it so that maybe the kobold has like a problem and it cannot fly and it's getting better or something like that. I don't know.
it's like
Yeah.
they're too. Well, like I have an Eric Coker idea I wanted to play, but of course we limit the. I would definitely on my end limit the flying from level 1 until like maybe when they reach like level 5 they can gain a fly speed that's like half their movement.
Oh no, hear me out. They have like chicken fly. They can fly, but they fall.
Oh.
That would be at level 1 through 4. Like
Yeah,
it would be,
yeah.
like, you fly like a couple inches up off the ground and hover for a sec, but then you fall.
That's adorable.
yeah, I mean that's part of the reason I always make my rule as nothing with an innate flying speed, so that I mean there's always feats to pick it up later on, rather than a level 1 able to fly out of all harm's way.
Well,
I
yeah, but
want-
I would never use it that way either
Right.
until level 5. So if I'd run it by you more then, but
I
until
want more Rachel feats. Why they're only like Dragonborn and elves, dwarves?
yeah.
No kobolds, no goblins.
Because they already get some pretty awesome just
Yeah, they do.
racial features already. I mean, Fury the Small, yeah, level 1, it's 1 extra damage, but any other level beyond that, that's just extra damage. You can only do it once, but when you hit, you
It's
hit.
extra damage. I mean, back tactics is really nice to have.
It really
Yeah.
is.
It is.
It is just buried by sunlight sensitivity, which has a lot of go-arounds.
Yeah, but even if you're in daylight, you just need an ally, and then you roll normally.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to offer, I think. Let me double check. Are we all back, by the way?
I think so.
I think.
I'm gonna make a stupid backup kobold. I never do it.
Remember that one shot we did with the wands, and I went through like 5. Yep.
I think where is racial feats expanded? Is there kobold ones here?
Well, they probably have like one that give you wings because that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. So the folder, the Google folder that I shared with you all, has something called racial feats expanded, which does have one kobold feat, which is Erdwing. So I'm going to assume
What?
it gives you the Erdwings.
Why that kobold has like fake wings?
Because he wasn't born with Erdwings and he wanted to make his own.
Oh.
And it's replicating a dragon, whereas he's supposed to be a scale sorcerer. So his magic comes from the scales and the draconic planes.
Oh, he's pretending to be a dragon.
He's pretending to be a dragon. He's adorable. Look at him. He's doing his best.
He is doing his best. And it's
I'm
so adorable.
gonna take a look at that folder. I see some pretty interesting material here. I might take a look.
Yeah, go for it. All up to you guys. It's just a couple of random stuff I've collected over the ages.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That one's got a scorpion tied to the end of a stick.
That's
that
the
one is
kobold inventor.
that one is from Critical Role actually. I think
That's the kobold inventor. He quote unquote invents things, skunks or weaponized scorpions, which he just stabs you with his stick and expects the stinger to hit you.
Aw.
That's his big invention. Okay. Pick up all my sheets. There we go. All right. So, you guys successfully survived your first ever mugging. Look at that. Proud of you all. Level 1, stepping up in the world. You guys are beginning to step away when suddenly the thought strikes you that, oh yeah, adventurers are supposed to do a thing after they fight and kill.
We are?
Loot
loot it?
the body.
yeah, take
That
the
is
feet.
horrifying.
Why would we desecrate a corpse? I mean, granted, it was already a corpse, kind of, before it died. I don't know. This is all new to me. I'm not used to things.
I'm already rummaging between this stuff.
You can find that on her belt pouch, Jeline apparently carried a potion of healing, a coin pouch containing 10 gold, and another small pouch that doesn't seem to have much in it as you shake it around, but opening it up, you find 4 small bones.
Oh look, a potion.
Is that a French potion?
What is that? I look at the pouch and give it to someone else that actually knows shit.
What's with these bones?
I gave it to Mama.
Mama Kahira can roll me a medicine if she likes. She doesn't have to. 16. These, and you can confirm this by looking back at Jeline, seem to be 4 of her toe bones that have fallen off. She used to be really attached to them, so she keeps them on her person.
Gross.
That's
She's going to
horrifying.
toss it away.
I mean,
Those
yeah,
are her toes. That's
Wait, what
gross.
was it in the bag? I'm disconnected for a second.
Toe bones. Her toe bones.
Toe bones. Huh.
Her toes. She kept
So-
her toes in a bag.
So the feet are incomplete. They're worth nothing. Shit.
That's the takeaway.
What is up with feet?
They have good value.
Also, I want somebody to read this line besides me and just understand the joke that's present within it.
The bones of 4 of her toes have fallen off. She used to be really attached to them.
Yeah. She used to be attached to them. She's not
No
anymore.
context just slips that into the description. Thank
Uh-huh.
you, Acquisitions Incorporated, and D&D as a whole. They do that often.
There
I
you
mean,
go.
that's why I call this the Mickey Mouse event, because it's just full of shenanigans.
Mhm.
I suppose so. I suppose we should continue on down to the docks then. Stay close,
Oh,
everyone.
all
Yeah.
right, we were doing a thing. I forgot. That was the thing we were
We-
doing.
We're doing a thing, then we got sidetracked with this thing, and
I
we
believe
need to get
it
back
is
to that thing.
this way.
I don't know. I
She
just
says with the map.
I just know that this is all seems just horribly inefficient. It's like we're just blundering around and then stuff just happens. It's strange.
I know. It is
Well,
weird.
things usually do happen. That is the way of life.
Usually the most that happens to me is I have to go to the bathroom after just working for 7 hours straight.
Dear, you
I
shouldn't
don't
work
know.
for 7 hours. For
Death
yourself.
situation happens a lot to me. It's happens a lot.
I work in
Well,
a
it's
tavern.
not going to happen to you with me around. Dear.
Bad stuff always happens in a
I
tavern.
don't know. The odds are against me. You should see how my cousins died. I have 103 cousins.
Yes, sweet
Most of them
lord.
dead.
Your family reunions
It's a
must be
lot
just
of
rambunctious.
Well, you know, we don't actually do unions. We all collectively raise the kids. So every couple is my cousin. Or my batch. One of them died by someone who cut the feet. Sick bastard.
Again, what is with the feet thing? That's
I
that's
don't know.
weird.
There's an assassin going around killing people, but they take their feet first, and then they kill them by chopping off their heads.
Why
Wait,
in that
you don't-
order?
I don't know.
Do you think that this Jeline that we just took out could have been was missing her toe?
No. She's
her
the toe
toes-
killer.
Her toes fell off on their own. I mean, she's a skeleton.
Well, what if she was taking the feet to get new toes?
Then why does she not
Yeah,
have toes?
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I suppose so. Well, very well then. Let's be off with this ghastly business.
Yeah, and this very odd conversation. Seriously, what the hell? Why are we talking about why this one's missing her toes?
I don't know.
I don't know.
This is very strange. Very, very strange.
Something following your path as the map is described, you bend out of the alleyway and down a twisting and turning this way and that, though thankfully you seem to be nearing your destination as you embark out from one more alley, coughing and sputtering a bit as you move past dust-filled barrels, apparently dump sites at some point of some house doing spring cleaning or late cleaning. You run into what appears to be your destination. Jolly's Lamp Emporium is an unassuming ramshackle shop in the midst of other unassuming ramshackle shops, including the collapsed warehouse next door. People in the nearby shops and apartments peer warily through their shutters as you approach. Next to the warehouse, 3 members of the Waterdeep City Watch stand guard. No one else is in the street except for a seemingly inebriated halfling who stumbles not quite toward you, seemingly intent on passing by you. But his waving walk seems to have him intent on bumping into maybe 1 or 2 of you at this point.
Sidestep out of the way.
Yes, everybody sidestep out of the way. She'll guide her well away from the
Oh,
inebriated
by the way, guys, who
goblin,
took
who's
the
actually
healing potion?
probably a thief. I'm betting it's a thief.
Wasn't me.
Huh? Oh,
Who took the
I can
healing
I can
potion?
write down stuff and keep track of loot.
You see,
I mean, someone
Check.
should have it.
Well, no, but who has it? Their person.
Oh,
is the question.
okay. Well, you're the one who looted it, so I assume you have it.
and you're also the tank.
Okay. Healing potion.
Potion.
No, actual potion.
Actual potion.
Actual-
Not good berry potion.
Not good berry, but
Good berry potions are great, man. Somebody made potions out of good stuff.
Also, you see that right there? That man with the really weird walk that keeps trying to bump into us? That's exactly why I don't drink. That you just lose complete control over most bodily functions. It's disgusting.
Also, he's not a child. Just saying.
Who's not a child?
The man.
I mean, obviously,
Just because he's short, he's not a child.
I mean, I'm
Oh,
short.
are
I'm definitely
those
not a child.
the city
No,
watch
he looks just
gentleman?
like he's about as high as I am.
Not very.
Kahira is going to approach the city watch and ask them if they know of where this pit, the area that we're supposed to be going to.
Okay. So you guys, let me just move a couple of these things.
Steering well away from the trunk.
Jump you back here, so we are clean there. Yes, staying well away from the drunkard, you can step forward towards the city watch. Here is a good image. And as you ask the question,
What the fuck is that?
Oh
as
my,
you
so
ask the
handsome.
question, you get sight of the warehouse that they stand in front of, and the small caution tape that's placed over the front. That's obviously a great deterrent from anybody stepping forward.
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh yes, the sinkhole.
Oh yes, the sinkhole. Um, the captain, the half-elf woman standing there, apparently with one helmet slung under her in a casual moment as she steps forward, sighs, saying, "Took you long enough. So let's get this done and we can get on with our lives." She quickly fetches a scroll from her side and squints at it with apparently barely legible writing and says, "So, which one of you is Osgood the Ugly? I need you to sign this before you go in. Nothing but paperwork and signatures since the newest Masked Lord got seated on campus."
I'm just blinking and then slowly glancing at
That's-
every one of us. That's none of us.
That's well, that's him right there, the ugly one. You know.
What?
Who?
I'm not pointing to
Zafina, who are
anyone
you
in
pointing
general.
towards?
I just look at Sir Koss like, is your name
between
Osgood?
Six and Koss. It's between Six and Koss, basically. It's one of the two of them. Like she's like waving back and forth between them. It's that one over there, you know, the
Name-
ugly one.
What? Sir Koss isn't that bad looking. He's just a kobold.
I think there may have been a mistake of identity here. I don't think any of us are Osgood the Ugly, although we were hired by Acquisitions Incorporated to come to this location to speak with you.
I can sign it if you want, if that's what you need.
No, because then you're forging paperwork, and that's a really big no-no in most corporations.
The captain
Oh.
takes a moment to glance back towards the sheet of paper, back towards the four of you, and then back towards the paperwork once more and says, "No, you were sent by Acquisitions, right, Aki?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
We were
need
paid a little
signature."
bit in advance and the rest later.
Exactly. If you've already accepted payment, then there's no need to hide. I just need Osgood the Ugly to step forward and sign. Is it you? And she steps forward towards Styx, lowering the paper towards him as though expecting him to sign. "I really don't have all day, you know. The sooner we can get this done, the sooner we can leave."
But none of us are Osgood the Ugly.
But forging paperwork is a sin in most of the eyes of the corporations and generally carries a very hefty fine or imprisonment.
I
Barely
grab the
both.
paper.
Also,
Sorry, my accountant, pain in the ass. Whatever the ugly. Nice to meet you. I sign.
I didn't know your
Okay.
name was Osgood.
Your name is Osgood?
I have a really long name. Shut up.
Oh, so you shortened it to Koss. I see. Okay.
But where's Koss and Osgood? What's the rest of the name?
Oh, well, you know, there are many people with long names.
Yeah, there is a silent H in the middle. You know, it's
And I assume the rest of you, I have a one Mad Hadley Flanagan, Carlot Squeaky Wickle, Lord Poppy Fogelstruck. You all make
oh
up
shit! I want that name. I want to be Lord whatever.
Too late.
Yes, us.
You know what? Yeah, sure. Give me the paper. We'll just
sign
I just make a very intelligible scribble next to Lord whatever.
Yeah, I
Right there, that paperwork's
Have
done, I guess. Dear sweet Lord.
Yeah.
Excellent. Glad to have that business done. And as she's saying this, you can see that the Furbolg behind her, as that is the largest of the three figures, continues to just pass a casual, lazy eye around the surrounding. He doesn't seem really thrilled to be here, nor is he really taking this too seriously. While the small halfling man,
That's a halfling?
I believe it is.
I literally thought it was an awakened gopher.
yeah, exactly.
Who stands perhaps at the ready as he stares down Osgood the Ugly with a sort of look that says, "Are you looking at me? You want to start something? You want to start something?" but yet remain.
Now,
waiting
children,
for
don't
captain
fight.
orders.
Dear sweet Lord, you're really hostile. You know, you go visit a spa, get a massage or something, man. Damn.
So, hey, handsome. How you doing?
Oh, dear sweet Lord, I do not
Oh,
have
no.
patience for this. No. We will not commit this sin right now. So what are we doing? We're looking for lost gods or something down in a hole? Is that what we're doing? I want to go down the hole now before this gets awkward.
I
The
don't
captain-
mind
I
getting
heard a
lost with
story-
this.
I heard a
tall
weird
blue
story
fellow.
about some dragonborn seducing hags, you know?
Oh, you heard that as well? Yeah.
So, what's your name?
Seemingly, well, raising a single eyebrow in confusion, but opening his mouth to seemingly reciprocate the flirting. The captain instead stands forward and clears her throat for saying, "Yes, you're looking for 2 members of the City Watch, Sergeant Ava Tashi and Constable Yander Boot. They descended into the fissure a day earlier to make sure it held nothing dangerous, and we haven't seen them since. Sergeant Tashi is a tall, rather strapping female human who has seen her share of scruffles and doesn't back down from a fight. If something took her out, I suggest you go the other way. By contrast, Constable Boot is a bit of a runt, and he likely didn't fight anything on his own, but anything that caught him probably is rather quick." And the halfling pipes up and says, "And he owes me 10 gold, so if you happen to find him, make sure to bring it back.
Bring back what?
Either him or the coin pouch on him. Either's fine." The captain gives him a swift kick to the back of the leg, and he says, I mean, the Constable Boot, please bring him back. We treasure him."
Right.
And his treasure,
Of
apparently.
course. So whatever killed the other lady, we should run the other direction. So we should go back that way, right? As I point behind me.
Well, we had to find a body first. I mean, that's the procedure. We had to identify the fact that there's a corpse. That
Oh,
is
so
in
we
fact
actually
them.
have to go down there first.
That's literally, yeah, I mean, that's literally what we're being paid for, is
Oh,
to go
well.
down the hole and find, hopefully, living people. If not, well, then we turn back the other way and run.
Oh, okay. So that's how that works.
Yeah, procedure.
So,
Yeah, let's go.
So the captain that is standing between Kahira and the tall, blue, handsome furbolg man. How tall is she?
Not that tall.
The half elf?
Yeah, the half elf.
Oh, let's see.
Nothing more than 6 feet. If she's tall. Really tall.
Captain Mergentroff is...
The weird.
Please tell me she's under 120 pounds.
I mean,
She
probably.
is probably not under 120, but probably at that, and probably under 6 foot easily. She's a half elf.
Okay,
She's
so
supposed to be
she's
like...
so Kahira is going to politely curtsy toward her, and she says, "Excuse me, I'm talking with this gentleman behind you."
Hey,
She's going to gently pick side of her shoulders, set her off to the
no.
side, and step up towards him to the gentleman behind her.
No,
and continue
mama.
her conversation.
It's
Okay.
not made in season yet. We need to do the calling first.
Sweetie, be quiet. Mother is talking.
Oh, dear
Mother's
sweet
talking
Lord.
with her
Okay.
friend.
You know what? This hole in the ground suddenly seems a lot more appealing. I'm gonna go down the hole now.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna follow him because that makes sense.
To the hole.
Oh no, sweeties, be careful. You might trip. She's
Oh,
suddenly
heaven
going
forbid.
to lose interest and head toward her babies, who are seemingly going toward danger. That is the giant pit.
Kahira just went from MILF to
Talk to me
cougar
later.
in nothing flat.
Heading towards the warehouse as you are, the captain, seemingly annoyed by this, calls out one last warning, saying, "Oh, and if you see any support beams, don't knock them over."
Why would we knock
Knock
them
over
over?
support beams. Got it.
No,
Thank you.
don't knock over support. Why would we knock over support beams? That sounds like a bad idea.
What is a support beam?
It's literally a beam that supports things. It's there for a reason.
The wood that
Morally?
holds-
No, physically.
Definitely, morally.
Yes,
to this
both.
warehouse.
Both.
In the areas where the walls and ceiling didn't collapse, this warehouse contains no crates, no boxes, no barrels, and no wares of any kind. Directly in front of the missing door, the walls, ceiling, and floor have fallen away to reveal a deep sinkhole fissure. Inside the ruin, a hempen rope anchored firmly in the rubble dangles down into the darkness. The tear in the earth descends at an angle, making it impossible to see how far down it goes or what waits at the bottom.
I live a long life. I start going down.
Yeah, but you don't usually see the end of it.
Please give me one athletics check, each one who is descending down the rope.
Oh, fuck. I'm a kobold.
Damn it.
Oh, jeez.
Gotta have it
Okay.
at some point. This is why you need some strength. But
I am a kobold. I have -2 to that.
You
I
know
am
what's sad?
going to. I'm going to be the one holding
Oof.
the rope at the top, lowering my children down, and I'm going to make sure each of them have like a well tied the rope about their waists.
So,
Fuck.
fun fact about this version of Styx. I actually made strength his dump stat this time and put it into charisma.
Makes sense.
So that's a 2.
Oh! Oh, jeez. At least it's not a 0.
Do we all fall into our death?
I
No,
will
Mama
need-
Bear's got a hold of you.
heroes save. Those of
Mama
you-
Bear's got you.
Okay, so I see one great success, one passing success, and 2 failures. Since Kahira has obviously put out that she is attempting to either break your fall or assist you in some way, I am going to offer that I have 3 bludgeoning damage per failure that needs to be doled out, perhaps by rope burn, perhaps by just getting a knocking to the rocks, or perhaps something else. But you guys can divide that up between the 3 of you however you like.
So 1 each.
One
It's 6 total. It's
6
3
total.
bludgeoning damage per failure. So Sir Collis and Styx failed, and I'm letting you guys
Okay, I see.
mitigate this by saying that Kahira took some from rope burn, Styx took a little from banging his head, or whatever else.
So 2 each
Yeah.
then, okay.
That works.
Okay.
I descend perfectly to the ground, and then a rock falls in my head. Fuck!
No, Styx falls on
Dear.
top of you.
Sweeties,
Oh yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
stop squirming as you go down. Be careful.
At least I wasn't a rock, dear sweet lord. I don't know why, but that comes off really cliche, you know? Rocks falling, kobold dying, just cliche as fuck. Oh, I'm
Hey,
sorry, I
it's a cliche for a
swore.
reason.
I done swore. I'm sorry. Let me pray to 6 different gods real quick.
Don't swear, sweetie.
I'm trying not to. It's been a weird habit. I don't even know where I picked it up.
Oh, you're such a good boy.
I try.
All right. Everybody should have a new map loading up.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yep.
look, with floor debris.
Yep,
Lord,
Floor debris.
this
The
is a hole, all
sinkhole-
right.
the sinkhole fissure ends at a level floor of worked stone. Dust, debris, rocks, and pieces of wood that once made up the walls and ceiling of the warehouse above are spread across the floor. An underground passage is blocked to the south, but it continues into darkness to the north. 2 pairs of human-sized boot prints easily spotted in the dust head northward. Smaller fissures, holes, and cracks riddle the passage, though even a halfling would have to find the largest of them a tight fit.
Well-
I'm going to light a
Kira
torch.
will light a torch. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say we need a torch here.
I just...
Kira's lighting a torch.
I feel like me and Sir Koss just kind of glance at each other, then blink at both of you. It's like, oh, right, you guys can't see in the dark, can you? I'm sorry. That's a thing for us.
City fog.
I mean, yeah, city folk. Well, you know, it might be best if those that can see in the dark maybe, you know, look ahead at maybe, I don't know, try to be quiet about it, be very, very, what's the word? The starts with
Stealthy?
an- What's stealth?
Sneaky.
Sneaky, that's
Yes.
the word I'm
That's
thinking
you.
of. Yeah, sneaky. One of us should be sneaky, like with sneakers. Wait, I'm wearing
I'm
sneakers.
gonna
Ah, crap, I'm wearing sneakers. Fuck. Sorry, God, I'm
They
gonna...
call
God bless.
trainers.
Anyway, oh crap, I guess I'll do it.
No,
All right.
sweetie, you've got your Vans on, but they look like sneakers.
Damn, Daniel.
All right, let me try.
Let's try to go sneaky. I
Yeah.
wanna say,
I'm wearing
oh, whatever God is watching my sorry ass, please allow me to prevent a horrible death.
I mean, I've never done this
guide
before, but
Oh!
I've never done this
Somebody
before.
just turned invisible.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm just slowly following the tracks.
Ooh,
It's like second nature to me. Ooh. So
25.
and you got medium armor master. Nice.
I'm starting to like that feat a lot.
It's a good one. Yes.
And Sirkos, you're stepping forward. You may notice how the map cuts off there.
Yep.
It's because of how they set it up here. It's just odd.
Oh, it's
you are
segmented.
it's segmented, yes. The tunnel extends further into a wide, square, or rectangular room. You can see at least 2 pits of a liquid, each bearing a different, two liquid pits stationed across from one another. It seems to be empty as far as you can tell, but I'm going to ask that those in the back here, well, actually everybody, can I have a wisdom perception check from all party members?
I think I have that. Yeah, this is a Styx. I did not tag for perception, so... Oh, that's still 14, though.
14!
Jesus Christ.
Ooh. I am
per-
rolling well this game.
So those of you that rolled above the 12 can hear as the scritches and scratches of mice begin to, or rather rats, begin to arise from the fissures around you, deep dark into this tunnel. And 3 of them are beginning to arrive. Those of you that failed the check are surprised on the first round as the rats leap forward, seemingly intent on harm. Most noticeably,
Rat.
perhaps most concerningly, all these rats seem to be painted or perhaps dyed green.
Green
Ugh,
rat.
Green rats.
green rat.
I never had green rat.
Oh,
There's a
I
lot
didn't bring
wrong
up
with
the
you.
initiative there.
Huh?
Yeah.
Why does that even seem more delectable? That's disgusting. It's green. Like me.
You have a very poor
It's-
diet. We need to
Holy
work on
shit.
that. Don't worry.
It's
Mother will
exotic.
Holy.
Holy.
What's with the initiative, guys?
What
the fuck?
There we go. There's Sir
Wow.
Cos, our tank, with a 7.
That makes
Oh,
that makes
Jesus.
sense. Sirkos failed his perception check.
I'm thinking about eating the rat.
Jeez Louise.
What the hell?
We went from,
What
like-
is up with these initiatives?
We went from, like,
I-
sub friggin' 10 to damn near all 20s again.
Yeah.
You guys, it's like you guys are finally down here like, yes, this is what adventurers do. Wait, what happens when adventurers do this? Oh yeah, they get ambushed. Immediately.
I
Zafina.
regret all my life choices.
Well, it actually kind of makes sense that we would roll 20s, since like most of us actually passed the perception.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my god! And the only one to fail the
What's Sir
initiative
Cos?
was Sir Cos, who failed the perception. This is perfect.
It's perfect.
You don't even get your first turn.
It's fine. I'm a tank. I don't need to do anything. Just be.
Tanky.
All right, we have 3 rats that Zafina can target.
Yeah.
Red, blue, and green.
Alright, well, we're gonna
Well, they're all green.
gonna target the green rat. No. Which green rat though? I am going to target yeah, we'll target the green one, actually.
Okay.
So yeah, 9 piercing.
20 hits for 9 piercing, which immediately skewers the rat against the back wall.
Great.
Kebab.
Ready for the fire.
Will you stop licking your lips? They're trying to kill us.
Ah,
That is go. Come down here by
Bye, Mama Bear.
mama.
Mama.
She's not my mommy. I have a mom. You're not it. No, yeah, come down here by Kahira.
Okay. Following you, the two remaining rats, seemingly ready for a battle. One, seeing Sarkos lick his lips, attempts to take a bite out of the kobold in turn.
Ah,
Unfortunately, he gets a meager 7 to hit. So
No.
the bite is a failure. While the last remaining one is going to squeal and run for the fleeing, smaller and easier prey, ignoring the obviously large and daunting prey next to her. I have a 15 to hit.
A 15 misses.
15 misses. The rat squeals and dives and fails, bringing us to Kahira.
Kira's gonna smack it with a mace.
The best solution to any rat problem: bring a hammer.
Yes.
You leave my baby alone.
5 damage. Nearly breaks its spine, but it's still alive.
I feel like she just tries to like politely give it a boop away, like a common fucking mother would, and damn near
There you
ends
go.
up killing it with it because she forgets she is half giant.
There you go. Okay.
This is Matthias's mother, okay?
Yep.
Wow, my dogs are going crazy. Jesus, what the hell?
Yeah.
Rudy, the undead hound.
Anyway, my turn.
Yes.
Okay, I'm once with a little bit more practice this time. I actually managed to draw the short sword, and I'm going to attempt to stab the thing. Oh shit!
Oh, well, do you stab the thing?
I stabbed it pretty well.
nice stab him.
Yeah,
It is
exactly.
Dissected.
Oh, holy crap! What the fuck is wrong with you? Good God, you want it here? It's at the end of the sword. Eat it off that. God, gross. Get it off.
Don't eat it before we cook it, sweetie.
Don't eat it at all. It's gross. Why? It's a rat. It's green. It's gross.
And
I mean,
because,
I've had
Poisonous.
squirrel.
What
It's
the-
big.
because of surprise round, Sirkos's first turn is left in the dust, but we move back to Zafina.
I'm
Uh,
literally
she'll-
hypnotizing him with the rat on the end of my short sword now.
She'll
Oh, yeah.
pull out a rapier now because this thing's too close for comfort. And she will attempt to stab it. Probably not. No, that's not a stab. But she is going to back up because mobile.
What the fuck would you with mobile?
Dude,
'Cause I only
Morgan,
have 25 movement speed, and so I wanted more.
Mobile's a common thing.
There you go.
That brings us to the giant rats, and the only one remaining is going to attempt one last bite against Kahira, seemingly ignoring its wounds, though it really probably shouldn't. It gets a meager 6 to hit, however, so I think that's a failure.
Yes, I will move my foot slightly.
Yes.
And
And
I will give it a reprisal. Oh, get out of here, you foul creature.
Huh.
Frost. Con save.
How hardy are rats?
Not very. I mean, they're average. But that is a dead rat. It has been flash frozen.
Hey, good idea. Save it for later.
What the hell? No.
What is
Not
wrong
until
with
we
you?
skin it, gut it, and cook it.
How about
Shut
none
up,
of
it's
those
a-
things? That's disgusting. It's a rat.
Put it in a bag and then continue.
So it calls grabbing the last rat as you do, frozen as it is, it breaks in half, dropping 1 platinum ring.
Mhm.
Ha!
What
Wait.
the hell?
What?
Oh, fuck it. I grab it.
And it is then at that moment with your obsession with shiny coins that you realize the ring is attached to a finger, a humanoid finger.
Are
Huh.
there fingers in all of the rats?
I don't
Probably.
want to open it up to find out.
Can I take the ring out of the finger or it's like attached to the finger?
You can take the ring off the finger, yes.
Do you think if I put this, I will turn green?
Yes.
Maybe?
I put it.
taking the ringer.
The ringer.
Taking
Oh wait,
the ring
I
off.
have detect magic. I can.
If you'd like to take the 10 minutes, but that's up to you.
Actually, I think.
I can offer Surpulse as
Ooh,
you take the
hold
ring.
on, hold on. I have fucking identify. I'm a force cleric.
What the hell? Y'all are fucking about to just put it on like a dumb adventurer?
Yeah,
Y'all have all
I
these
sit
abilities.
on the ground and try to identify this thing.
Which one do we want to do? Kahira can do, if we want, we can do both. But you will take 10 minutes for a ritual down here.
I'm gonna wait for
If-
her to tell me if this thing is magical.
Kahira
See if it's magical first.
can tell that it's not magical.
Oh no, it's just a platinum ring on a finger. Ew.
I keep the platinum ring and the finger.
You
Okay.
eat it or you keep it?
I keep it.
Okay.
Keep it.
I heard eat, and I was
One
going to
is
question
different
it.
than the other.
The ring and the finger.
Did you remove the ring from the finger, right?
Yeah.
Doing
Okay.
so, you can find that the inside of the ring is etched with a name, actually. It's etched with Burton Boot.
Was that one of the men we were looking for?
Was it?
I think so.
I honestly don't remember. I didn't write it down because I wanted to get away from the football love making session I was about to witness.
There's
Is it
nothing
one of the
wrong
names?
with furball love.
There is when it's done in public. In fact, it's illegal.
It is. It's almost always done in public. It's cultural.
I really don't want to know these things you are telling me.
If you feel as though your character had paid attention to what the captain or what the captain of the guard was explaining to you, you would recognize that one of the people you were sent down here to recover was not Burton Boot, but Yander Boot.
Oh, weird.
Oh.
But then
Like,
again,
Well, I'm gonna check the other rats for more loot.
The other rats don't seem to have any extra loot. Despite their green coloration, they are not any more special than your other abnormally sized rodents.
why are these rats freaking green?
I have no clue.
Can I investigate the
vegan.
green rats to see why they are green?
Yes, give me an investigation.
18.
18. So with an 18, you can tell that it was obviously done as well. Let me lead off by saying that the way that the dye covers these rats is so complete and circumstantial that it's not as though they simply took a bath or somebody dropped dye on top of them. There was likely some sort of complete magical effect that made this happen somewhere that they all three either went past, were subjected to, or something similar, since it seems to cover their entire being. Like their hair, their nails, their eyes, all green.
Yeah. Now you see this right here. This is why you don't play with magic. You get green rats. Magic is a sin.
Magic in and of itself is not a sin. How you apply it.
No, it's definitely a sin.
No, she's right. It's how you use it.
No, it's just definitely a sin. Doesn't matter how you use it. It's a sin.
Well, that aside, you seem rather upset with the whole birds and the bees. I shall have to tell you about it later.
How about no? I understand how it works. I just prefer not to see it. It's
No,
kind of
it's
you
very-
see, when a mommy furball and a daddy furball love each
No,
other very much.
I really
That's
don't
not how it
want to
works.
hear that. As I literally look back to say this, I turn back and accidentally just bite the head off the rat and start crunching down on it. It's like, I'm telling you, I don't give a damn about how. Wait, what am I? Why did I do that?
Why did you do that?
I don't know. It was in my hand. It just happened. What the hell's wrong? Why did I do?
Also,
I
where
don't feel
did you
good.
go?
Yeah, I
We-
simply jumped them to the next segment.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say like, everybody suddenly jumped.
Stepping forward as you guys do down the tunnel once more. Now, this time, helped by Kahira's light from her torch held aloft, you realize that these pools are not simply, well, rather, let me give you a description of the whole room. This rectangular chamber shows no earthquake damage, possibly because of the buttresses and columns supporting the walls and ceiling. 4 pools of liquid are set into the floor, now seen to each have their own individual color. One blue, another green, third clear, and the last cloudy. Carvings on the walls seemingly depict the pools and show robed figures submerging themselves within. At the far end of the chamber stands a double door with a large, ornately carved lock.
Huh. Weird stuff.
Kahira, from your position here, you can see that the first pool within your range is indeed magical.
The first pool? And what color is it?
It is the cloudy pool.
Cloudy pool. There's magic about this one.
Then it's a pool of sin.
And
No.
what of the other pool up here? So
Stepping
magic?
closer to them as you do, you can see that the blue one is indeed magical as well.
This one's magical too.
What about the green one?
Let's find out. And
The green one is, the clear one is, and as close as you are right now, the door is as well.
the door? This door?
Yes.
Oh dear. All kinds
me-
of magic up in this bitch.
Call me crazy, but I think the rats were swimming in this pool. I went to the green one.
Which pool? This
I
pool?
believe
I say as I
you're
dip my finger into this pool right next to me.
No, sweetie, don't. You don't know where it's been.
Hey, no, this one. I put my finger in this one.
Sweetie, don't.
Yes! I'm so happy someone joined me in the antic.
She's going to try to fix away from it while then seeing Cost do the same, and she's like, "No, babies."
No, my babies!
I just
Doing
picture her
so,
taking her
there is
quarterstaff and knocking them both on the head, and they both fall in the pool now.
Sticks doing so, there is a brief tingling feeling that works its way up the back of your spine before it ends as you retract your hand. Sotokawa's doing so, there is a small, not quite burning sensation, but something definitely approaching that at the tips of your fingers where it touches the pool, but retracting it ends it instantly.
Okay, it kind of weird. I don't know what it is. Actually, here, smell my finger. What is it?
I want to smell your finger. Also, I felt funny when I touched this pool. It felt good. Like, tingly in the pants kind of good.
Yeah, I don't like this one. It feels like I was burning.
I'd like to identify the liquid. Maybe not necessarily its magical properties, but the ingredients of it using medicine. You know, like from its vapors and smells and observing it. Can I make a medicine check for that?
I would say no in that regard because with a fair bit of things, but healing potions are one of the few that can be done with herbalism and as such medicine and wisdom. Most potions come from alchemy themselves, which is int based and arcana based as their basis.
Okay, well then, yeah. I have no arcana whatsoever.
I'm gonna take the finger that I took and throw it in the pool. See what happens to the finger.
You know, we
The
might need
Person
that.
grows from the finger.
The finger bobs in the liquid for a brief moment before it sinks down into the depths and out of sight.
Sweetie, don't throw
Is
things.
it bubbling?
No.
So it wasn't burning. Like no sound.
No, it wasn't sizzling like acid or anything, if that's your concern, which, fair enough.
While no one's
I mean, it's
looking,
green.
I'm going to cup a handful of this pool. I'm going to drink it.
No, sweetie, don't.
I said while no one was looking.
Yeah, but I
when-
hear
when
the
when
slurping.
probably when I throw the finger.
Do you,
it
though?
will be
I don't know. Do I hear a slurping?
Sleight of hand would be what
What
you'd
is your-
probably.
Oh, in that case, here, let me do sleight of hand instead.
See.
Okay. It's 15 again.
Haha! I do
Oh.
hear a slurping.
You are. Styx is able to
Yes.
consume part of the liquid. Doing so, as I said before, there's a brief tingling sensation that echoes from the base of your spine up to the tip top of it, the base of your skull, before ending as the liquid passes through your throat. It doesn't seem to sustain or persist despite being in your stomach. Really, you don't feel any different even now. it doesn't seem like any of these pools have any sort of long-lasting effect by simply interacting with them as you are. You might have to. What you see guys seem to be working up towards is following the depictions. Yeah, you know.
Kawabonga?
Cowbunga. Into the pools.
No!
No,
My
let me go,
babies
let me
don't
go.
jump into strange liquid. Because you don't know what they could be.
Well, that's why we're jumping into them to find out. Besides, this one feels really good, and I want more of it. I want more of the good.
I love that you somehow ended up with this one, Grim. I
Oh
love
no! Did I pull another Curse of Straw with sticks? Please tell me I did.
it. I need you to make me an saving throw, please.
Oh Jesus! That's an 8.
Oh no.
That's
Oh,
an 8.
No. Oh
Oh.
no! And so ends Sticks the account.
Possibly, but not in the way you imagine, I assume. So
Amnesia?
6. Submerging yourself in this liquid as you are, the tingling sensation rises once more, echoing up from the base of your spine and going to the base of your skull, but not stopping there anymore. No, it breaches your skull into your mind, and for a brief moment, your mind, your inner eye, glimpses at the infinite possibilities of the multiverse
Holy
seeping
shit! Yes.
into your brain.
Oh no.
Other Sixes, other goblins, other yous.
Oh no!
Yes.
And then it all becomes too much. Exhausting, one might say. And you feel the need to pull yourself from the clear liquid, from whatever this is, and onto dry land. If you don't mind, I am going to move you there.
Yeah, by all means.
Yeah, Kahira will be the one to go in after her baby and drag him out. What
And
Okay,
are
now
you
I
thinking?
jump.
you have 1 level of exhaustion.
That's fine. I'm just kind of huddled up, fucking shaking. I was like, holy sweet, dear sweet fucking god, oh god, so many rat
Oh,
caches, so
no.
many rat caches. Oh god, what the fuck is Barovia? Why did I know Barovia? Oh dear sweet lord, where's my hair? I
So
reach up and it slowly, as I do it, what little is left just slowly falls out. I was like, my hair's gone.
oh,
and-
sweetie, it's okay. Hair grows back, and she'll be like wrapping you up with her cape and like drag you off. Oh dear, one must always forgive the follies of youth, but
I have-
in the future.
I have
Mhm.
seen so many things that just
Oh
simply
goodness,
said,
Koss! What are
Styx
you
was
doing?
here.
I don't know, something.
He jumped
One
into the green.
con save, please.
Gone? Yeah, I expected that. This is gonna hurt.
Or not.
Do I have anything to help me with this? I don't think so.
I gotta look up exhaustion rules again. I don't remember what the first level is anymore.
One
Disadvantage on ability checks.
Oh, is that all? Fuck, I'm not worried.
20. Cause you seep your way into this liquid, and it too seeps back into you. Truth about its physical form following it forward. With a successful Constitution save, despite these apparent caustic, or rather not caustic, detrimental possible effects this liquid may have had, you gain resistance to poison damage and feel quite content in this pool. It's rather nice. It's a nice thing to bathe in.
I start swimming on my back like, oh, this is awesome.
Sweetie, please. Oh, you're like sort of drifting off to the middle, and she can't quite reach at you, and she like keeps trying to, and she'll actually accidentally fall into. Oh,
jeez.
dear! Now I'm all
Uh-oh.
wet. Sweetie, look what you made mommy do.
So you're rather
Phrasing.
tall. You're rather tall. I'm going to say that standing in it as you are, it's your choice whether or not you are actually submersing yourself in it. As the three shorter folk actually falling in will automatically.
Oh, so it only goes like waist deep to me?
It probably goes like up to torso for you.
Oh, okay.
But like I said, you're tall enough that you could probably choose not to submerge yourself if you're just simply standing in it. Your
Well,
choice.
She like kind of like topples over into it, so she's submerged for a second, but she
Okay.
quickly gets her feet in order to pick up out of the pool and put them on the side.
Make me a con save,
Uh,
please.
You said something that I'm resisting or immune to poison. I did.
You are resistant to poison.
Okay.
Okay,
Poison.
con save.
13. 13. Kathira, seemingly following Sarkos's actions here. So Kathira, you also become resistant to poison as the liquid seems to seep into you and bolster you, much like it did Sarkos.
Goodness, well, at least it wasn't anything bad. But you two must be more careful.
What
Why
is the other
can't
one?
you
What
be
is the
like
other one?
your sisters?
He really goes for the next one.
No, sweetie,
Ah.
you're going to
No.
be the death of
Just
mommy.
because it's blue does not mean it's actually water. I mean,
That's
it's
right.
water, but it's blue water. It could be bad.
Now, stay away from the edge of the
No.
pool.
As long as it's not yellow, it's fine.
It's
No,
not
that-
jello.
And this is cloudy over here, said?
Yes.
Nobody has. We don't know if we actually have to do something with these pools.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
I mean, we might actually have to do something with
Oh,
that's the biggest thing.
Oh, goodness. Well, you kids stay here. I'm going to go check the doors, all right?
Why am I
And
wearing
for
a
heaven's
freaking
sakes,
tie?
don't go into the pool.
Right. It stakes when I will jump into the pool.
Yes.
Shall I push you in? Shall
I
just
don't
push you
want to
in?
jump because I feel like this is one of those things that you may have only one power at a time. So I don't want to.
Yeah, we pushed our luck with Curse of Strahd. We don't want to do that again. And once again,
Mhm.
like Curse of Strahd, I ended up with the most thematically appropriate one for Styx. Somehow.
So-
Hey, look!
Ah.
I
But
can now eat
stick
the rat
my
and I'll be
hand
fine.
in stick my hand in, swirl my hand around. Just
There is a how to describe this? A weight that settles onto the back of your shoulders, but disappears as soon as your hand is removed. Kihira, investigating the door, as I said before, it is magical. Investigating it closer at hand, you can see that it does bear 4 sigils that seem to be concealed, except for your magical eyes, making them quite obvious. To what you would best identify as locks of some sort, perhaps simply representations of locks, or akin to that. 2 out of 4 of them are moved as though they are no longer relevant or are opened.
We have to do it. We have to jump in the pool.
we
Yeah, we have to do it.
do it.
Oh,
Do it.
I'll see what this one feels like with my hand because it felt a little heavy.
It feels itchy.
Heavy.
Oh.
I fear that heavy might be strength.
Strength, yeah,
Maybe.
that's what I'm
No.
thinking. I have.
Itchy.
Itchy could
Maybe.
either be dexterity or wisdom. It could also be intelligence. It could also be constitution. It could be any number.
I mean, are you jumping or am I jumping?
No. I'll
I jump in the pool.
It-
Y'all took too long.
of course do. I'll jump into the blue one. Just do that.
Fuck it.
6, give me a
Please.
wisdom saving throw,
Yeah,
and
kind of
that's-
figured it was
That's what I was worried about.
Zafina, give me
That's a
a
5.
charisma saving
a
throw.
charisma.
Oh.
Now I wish I jumped in that pool.
Oof.
Oh, yeah, go Zafira.
Man, 6. I feel bad.
I don't.
Styx, since you were the first one to do so, this liquid is intensely itchy. It's an acidic thing that seeps into you and just gets into your pores. It makes you itch under your skin, even. Your ability to resist it is not non-existent, but nearly there, as your hands immediately fly to your arms, trying to itch it away, only to give it further access to seeping into you. You can leave the pool, but you are gaining some damage.
That's not another level of exhaustion.
Yeah, we
4.
don't. Jeez.
4 acid damage.
Ah! Oh god,
And-
it burns! Oh dear sweet lord!
After the damage triggers, you gain vulnerability to acid damage.
Ah!
Mm.
Ooh.
You okay?
You just watch me start throwing off my tie, my shirt, and my pants. I'm just fucking just scratching up against everything. Oh god! Oh god, it hurts! Oh!
Sweetie,
That
this
feels
is
so
what I was
good.
trying to
Oh,
warn
oh,
you about. Goodness
Zafina.
gracious.
Yes.
You submersing yourself in are immediately assaulted by images of horror, things ending, things dying, things crumbling to dust, terrible calamities such as rotting flesh, crumbling edifices, and political speeches in some brief flashes.
Oh,
Holding yourself forward, unchanged by what happened to you, you gain advantage on initiative rolls.
oh.
That's
Okay.
a good one.
That is good.
I'm gonna say, do you think this one is resistant to? It's probably resistance to acid.
I don't know, but it made me really, really itchy. Ugh. Pardon me, but I'm not gonna be wearing my pants for a while. Also, where's the rest of that rat? I'm kind of hungry now.
As Zafina pulls herself free of the pool, the double doors at the far end give an audible click and slightly swing ajar.
Oh, hey, look at that door.
Aha! And you don't want us to swim in the dangerous pools.
I mean, I kind of regret it. My eyes have been opened to many a thing that
Styx,
I'm not comfortable with. Yes, I am Styx, the goblin now.
you who have jumped in 2 pools so far, feel your eyes linger, almost not quite as strong as a compulsion, but definitely a tugging sensation to the 2 remaining pools in the room. There's a brief feeling as you glance from them to the walls of robed figures going into pools that perhaps it's right of you to keep trying more. You are not forced to stay here, you are not forced to try more, but there is a brief tug at you.
I mean, who would be crazy enough to? Oh no, I slipped into this pool.
Of course you did.
No, Sticks, baby.
1 Constitution save, please.
If you fail this one too. Oh my god!
Don't jinx him.
Oh no.
He's vulnerable to acid too.
Poison.
3
Or
poison
poison.
damage. And then, after it triggers, you are vulnerable to poison damage.
Do you think I can?
I'm
Maybe
not-
if I.
I know, like a slightly different shade of green when I come out. It's like, dear sweet lord, that felt weird.
And I bet if you fail the other one, it's on initiative roll at that
I'm
point.
going to give Sticks the last 5 good berries that I have.
Styx, as you are right now, 3 out of 4 pulls in. You feel the tug once more, slightly stronger than last time, but still not a forced compulsion.
I take the good berries, I pop them in my mouth, and I just jaunt over and.
Yeah, I want to try
Screw
this one.
it. Screw it, I'm
You guys are
curious.
experimenting with chemicals. Better living.
I live a long life. I can do this.
Oh my
Styx in the blue pool, charisma save, and Circos in the cloudy pool.
You gotta be
with
kidding me!
Oh my god, the
finally
only
one.
Yes.
I was gonna. If you failed all of them, there was.
Yeah, there's
I
something
was
wrong.
I
really
missed
hoping he'd
Harbington
fail
so much.
actually because I wanted to see what would happen.
Styx, as I mentioned before, horrors assail your mind, but you pull through, still the same person as you were when you entered, vulnerable to poison and acid, and suffering greatly. You have advantage on initiative roll.
Which evens out because. Oh, wait, no, that's just ability checks. Yeah, I have
And
advantage
the
initiative.
fact that he's already seen worse.
Circos, as I said before, there is an itching that arises as it digs under your scales, but you persevere through it, untie wounds that rise, and you can pull yourself out of the pool, resistant to acid damage.
That felt nice.
All right, and
Also, I don't want to wear pants anymore.
Styx has done all 4, Zafina's done 1, Kahira's done 1, Circos has done 2 now, correct?
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
Circos, as I mentioned before with Styx, you feel the briefest tug to keep going, but it is not forced, nor is it compulsion.
What happens if you do this one?
I don't know. I'm really curious.
Yeah, I want to do it.
I mean, it's an int
Fuck
save, fair
it.
warning.
Yeah, I know. I'm horrible at that, but fuck it.
So
Clear. In saving throw.
Come on, man. I want.
Oh,
Ah, damn it.
Ah.
Probably missed by one or two.
Nope.
You missed by quite a bit.
You are assailed by the infinite possibilities, other circles, meteorites that you, or asteroids that you worship, and something else beyond, and you pull through exhaustion.
You literally saw how every single one of your cousins, in the brief span of 30 seconds that you were in that pool, how you saw millions of kobolds die.
Not
Can
gonna
we
lie.
please go and
Once
be
we-
done with this room?
Fine.
Why? This is fun.
Alright, so that's 2 that did 1, Sticks did 4, and Circles did 3.
Yeah. I usually have to go into the strength pool.
Oh no, that's no.
Circles, as I mentioned before, there is the briefest tug for the last remaining pool. Not forced compulsion, but I mean, you've done 3. What's the harm in one more?
I have seen things no goblin should see.
Why would I ever do that? Why would I ever?
There
jump
we
into the
go.
pool? Why would-
Why wouldn't you?
Yes!
One
Okay.
charisma
Advantage
save.
on initiative! Oh, please.
Six.
Actually, I'm really curious. Please fail this. I want to see what happens when you fail.
No, that's a succeed. 13.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
damn it.
is advantage as before. As I've described a couple of times now, countless images of horror, but you come back the same as you were. Undaunted.
Now, I love the fact that both me and him jumped into this intelligence saving throw pool first, saw horrible, horrible things involving our species, or in my case, versions of
Yeah,
me.
past the other
It's like,
one. Yeah.
it's thematically, you just like braced us for what this one did to us. And it's just like, yeah, I already saw that though.
Now I'm wondering if I'll pass this one. You know, it's like
Do it.
Do it. Do it.
I want to know what happens.
The option is there if you want it.
oh, why not? Let's.
There we
see
go.
what
Yes.
Oh no.
Everybody,
My baby.
happens.
She's just watching in horror as we all
peer
just hurt
pressure in
ourselves.
action.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the clear pool int saving throw,
Intelligence,
please.
yeah.
Come on,
Please
come
make it,
on,
please make it. I
pass.
want to know.
I'm so fucking curious. Yes, please tell me that's a pass.
Maybe.
It is a pass.
Yes.
Oh yes. What happens?
Seeing the infinite possibilities of the multiverse seeping into you, you stand cataloging, identifying, and segmenting them unchanged. And you can rise out of the pool with advantage on wisdom and charisma checks and saving throws.
Holy
And
shit.
So if you pass this one, you can basically pass the other ones easily.
Pretty much. Now that I have advantage on all the other saving throws. Yeah.
Oh shoot.
And as I described before, Zafina, there is the briefest tug to keep going. 2 out of 4 done. What's 2 more?
Yep. What is 2 more? 2 more is.
Oh
let's go
no.
for- Let's do all 4. Why not?
Yep.
Constitutional
one-
saving throw.
Oh yeah, that was gone.
Constitution. At advantage.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Your advantage goes charisma, wisdom,
Right.
and
Charisma and
intelligence.
wisdom. Yeah. Okay. So it's not this one, but
Oof, 10.
But 10
10?
is enough to pass.
Oh god.
I missed that by 1. Hate my life.
yep.
You have resistance to poison damage.
Well, you have a -1. I mean, you made it, but you had a -1.
Yep.
And then we'll go for the last one. which
The
is-
cool. Wisdom saving throw.
Easy.
Yep, 17. You are resistance.
Actually, it's a
resistant
22. It's the
acid.
first one, so. But still,
Oh, I see.
nonetheless, I accidentally hit it twice.
Oh, no. 2, yeah, resistance to acid.
So,
I feel fresh.
So please
come
mark
on.
down like what you have now, because I'm having trouble keeping track already.
Yeah,
Who
I'm
has resistance or advantage?
gonna put it in.
I think everybody's been in all 4 except for Zafira.
Yeah, I think
Correct.
Zero has been in 1.
Or
Yeah,
Kahira, yeah.
here.
I imagine this like we are jumping in different pools at the same time, so you cannot keep up.
Yeah.
Just gave up.
Running
We're
around
actually-
trying to
we're-
save
we're
one.
Doing this, yeah. So
My babies are so suicidal.
Yep.
If you have the blessings on you, feel free to mark them as blue pool, green pool, clear pool, or as is. If you sustained the negative effects, still counted as a quote-unquote blessing.
So it's acid and poison that I'm resistant to.
I have all 4.
Well, yeah. Resistance to
That
acid.
pool is weird. I saw myself praying to a rock in the sky.
You think that's weird? I got some stories, man. I got stories now. I got a lot of stories. Also, where's the rest of that rat? I'm hungry.
Also, I saw death, many death. Not so bad.
That's not surprising. You're a kobold.
Yeah.
So is advantage on wisdom, intelligence, and charisma?
Yes.
Okay.
I lost myself. I found me.
Just slightly north.
I lost myself, then I found myself.
Yes, you did. That was one of the pools.
I found many versions of myself, and most of them did not have
As
long
the-
lifespans.
As the passage runs east, it widens to 30 feet for the next 90 feet. At the far end of the area, the chamber narrows to 10 feet again, with an ornate double door sealing it off. And Kahira, pause.
Oh, there we go again.
Mama
You do this
Bear's
every
too busy worrying about her kids.
Every character, you set the traps.
You would, depending on how long Area 2 lasted, you would still have Detect Magic up, would you not?
I suppose so. Yeah.
How long
The
was
last
it?
10 minutes, so.
Yeah, so how long were
I
the dips in the
mean,
pool, I guess?
probably did that in like
I
about
mean, it
3 or
takes
4 minutes of jumping
yeah.
into pool.
Yeah, of trying to chase the kids around. Because
I think it's fair to say that you still have it up, but it's beginning to dwindle.
Sure.
Here, this area in front of you, let me specify it.
oh dear.
The floor here shows signs of charring and the charring obscures faint runes that are inscribed below. What you can tell is magic and evocation magic at that.
Oh dear. Kids, there's some magical traps about here. You must be careful not to step on
Well,
the
here,
runes. Yes,
Uh,
this whole area right in front of me, and she's going to gesture at the long rectangular. All
Okay.
over, if you can see the runes.
The runes are scattered slightly like, I don't want to say a minefield, but that's if you can see them, you can walk through without air, and somebody could lead the way doing such.
Yes, just be careful. Follow mommy and don't step on the runes.
yes, follow. I jump on her back.
She
Follow.
will accept that.
We'll
Absolutely.
all jump on each other's back.
She will accept cost. She will even pick cost.
What?
Oh, great,
Oh.
pause. Okay, so Collins is on Kahira. Let's not lose that factoid in this
Mhm.
moment.
In fact, if she acknowledged that there was there, she probably will wait. Can Firbolg magic be used to cast? Yeah, detect magic on herself. Okay. Oh, but I already used
You
it.
already
Damn
used it, though.
Yeah. Okay.
And you can't detect magic a pit trap.
Correct.
Oh. Oh dear.
Oh, fuck.
Stepping
Jack!
forward with Collins in your arms, you step into a seemingly even part of the floor that immediately sinks and flips open, allowing you to fall an easy 10 foot deep for 1d6 bludgeoning damage. Let me roll that out.
Do I not get a save?
This one does not have a save ascribed to it because it was undetected and you simply walked on top of it.
Damn. Okay.
That's big damage.
Does cost take damage?
Cause jostled as he is, you guys. I'll do what I did last time. You have 5 damage. You can differ it out however you'd like. It just
Kahira will take it all.
Okay.
Kahira will
Sure.
take it. And
Here-
then,
Here-
Kahira will then take the goodberry potion. She'll drink the goodberry potion.
Here, have my strong.
Are you aware you all fell into a damn hole?
What are you
Yes.
doing down there?
Drinking.
the good berry potion, taking 2 of them heals you for 1.
Taking 2 of them heals you for 1?
Yes.
Wow.
They are not great things.
I told you they were a ripoff.
Oof.
Shite.
You do have the potion of healing from the skeleton that you got off earlier, which
Yeah,
seems to be
take
a
it.
genuine one.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
But as you stand here gulping down at the clay pots, it doesn't give way again, but rather water begins to rise up from it as a hole in the pit seemingly has water flowing from it, followed by small glowing blue fish.
Uh-oh.
Hmm?
I'm going to get out of the pit.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
It's only 10 feet deep, right? That's only
It
2 feet
is
deeper than me.
only 10 feet deep, correct.
That is 2 feet deeper than Kahira.
She literally can just climb out of a 10-foot pit. Jesus.
Yeah. Just kind of reach up and just kind of pull myself out. I'm good.
And I did say that Detect Magic was still running for...
I'd say at the end of this room, and that'd be it.
God damn it.
Another magical trap seems to radiate in the space next to the pit trap. This
I'm sorry. Healing potions are D8 or
1d4.
1d4 plus 1, 2? Yeah. 2d4 plus 2.
2d4 plus 2.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry, my bad. I'm thinking something else.
Okay, cool.
Are there any bones in the pit trap?
There are no bones in the pit trap, but the water continues to rise up till it fills the pit, the small glowing blue fish remaining swimming around freely in it.
Yeah, okay.
Do
Oh,
I?
what's going on there?
I'm going to try and see if I can nature the blue fish, the glowing fish. I want to know if I know what they are.
Sure. They are actually just mundane blind cave fish. They seemingly probably have bioluminescence from their long time underground. They are harmless. Honestly, with your high check, you also know that some remedies and some herbal, ideas is that people will lay in pools like these and allow them off of them. It's
They're
those kind
nipple
of fish.
fish. That's adorable. Have you guys ever heard of nibblefish?
No, I have. I've seen the videos.
Yeah. Oh wait, could you now?
No,
Okay.
probably not.
Well, anyway, also be careful. There's this area ahead is also magical and
I'm seeing a pattern here. It's not a good
Can
pattern.
Walk along the wall and not hit a trap?
Doubt
yes. Do be careful, everyone. Anything else that I see in front?
You know what?
of me?
Hold up. Before we go any further, I mean, it's at disadvantage, but let me. Nope. I tried.
I would like to do an active perception check on the area in front of us. Hello.
Sorry. Yeah, you can go ahead. 11. From this distance, you can see that the doors do bear marks of magic. But other than that, there is no traps laid out before you in the door.
Let's scooch along the wall until we get to the door. So magic. Is anybody good with the arcane?
No, but I'm interested.
I thought you said it was evil.
It is evil. That's why I'm interested.
What?
What's wrong with you now?
Sticks, are you feeling all right? I think those pools might have had a more adverse effect on you than they did.
What gave it away? The fact I'm fucking bald now?
Well, yes, but also you're naked.
Well, I chose that, at least.
Hmm.
I could really go for a drink suddenly.
Yeah.
Drink!
Yeah, a drink. You know, alcohol. To get drunk. In order to not feel things anymore. Because I feel a lot of things right now, and I don't like any of them.
Earlier you said you don't drink, though.
Earlier, I didn't jump in a magical fucking pool that decided to show me iterations of myself I didn't even know existed. By the way, I'm not really a freaking goblin. I'm a clone.
What?
What?
Huh?
I know, it doesn't make sense to me either. I'm both
Sweetie,
a
we've
goblin
gotta
and
get you
non-goblin.
to a hospital after this.
Oh,
What's
fuck
the
a house.
hospital?
Oh, come on, you know, a hospital. There's hospitals, right? Hospitaler?
It's temples.
Temples.
Yeah, okay, temples. Sure.
In fact.
Okay.
Yes, temples. Where you take
Can
people to
the-
be killed.
And
Door
where you
be
take money.
killing us?
That's up to you guys.
I don't like that answer.
Shit.
That's a great answer. I love it.
Oh wait.
I'm gonna stay back here in the corner.
So it's the magic that I see on it. Is it evocation magic?
It is not. It is conjuration.
Oh no, that's just as bad.
The door looks pretty sturdy. It looks like it does have an obvious lock in it that could be picked. It is suitably sturdy, but probably could be bashed down with a strong shoulder, or somebody taking time could attempt to break through it with the right tools.
I
Did
bust
someone
open my
say lock
backpack. I take the hoard of pins I have. I quickly disassemble all the mechanical ones, and next thing you know, I now have thieves' tools. I predicted this was going to come up at some point. I didn't think it was going to be so appropriate to where Styx found himself. To where it's just like, oh yeah, fuck this. I got this. One moment. There we go. Put this here. Put the spring here. I can use this little ink. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Fair warning. I'm freaking tired. I might suck at this. Why is everyone stepping away from me?
Be
They were
careful,
stepping away
sweet.
from the door.
Okay.
Hold on.
Why?
May whatever God is watching me protect you from a horrible death. Now, good luck. I give you guidance.
Obviously, that was obvious. Sir.
That worries me already. All right, I'm gonna roll the thing now and pray. What's guys
Okay.
do again?
What's an accountant doing with a set of
D4.
pistols?
D4. Let me add that D4 then.
Yeah,
I didn't
definitely.
have a set of thieves' tools. I literally made them out of pens. 13.
While this is happening, give
Mhm.
me a charisma saving throw.
Wait,
Oh,
me?
dear.
Wait.
No. Here.
Oh,
Kahira.
wait. Why her? That's weird.
Nice. As Styx approaches the door, sits in to pick out the locks, there is a brief pop as Kahira disappears.
Huh?
Aw.
Man, this lock's kind of buggering me. Jesus Christ, this thing's just a pain. That wait, what?
Where'd Mama go?
Uh,
Where'd the big lady go?
Mama, no.
Mama.
I thought you were watching it. I was focusing on the lock. I have my excuse. What's your excuse?
Well, 1 minute she's here, the next minute she's gone. Poof.
Well, how could
She
we mean
disappeared.
poof? I mean, did you see how big the lady is? This we Lord, she can't just
I know,
vanish.
that's my point.
The lock remains closed, but you can attempt it again.
I'm going to keep attempting it as I'm having this argument about how we suddenly misplace our giant lady friend. Fucking God.
Jeez.
I'm going to keep doing this. I'm exhausted, I'm tired, but I'm determined and pissed off now because I'm arguing with a halfling.
I guide you every time.
Okay, let me add a
Okay.
D4 on that last one then, which I'm hoping will do it.
We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, if it doesn't,
15.
yeah, 15. 15 is good.
Well, the first one was 12. I don't know if that counted for anything.
No,
I didn't blast it.
the end result was 13, and that's not high enough.
Ah.
I wasn't going to roll gate you guys or anything. I was just going to give you a few attempts. But yeah, so this gets you through. Popping open the doors as you do so, you can see that the wall adjacent here, there are slabs set along the walls of this stone chamber holding human-sized bodies wrapped from head to toe in off-white cloth. Even as the doors open, these wrapped bodies begin to rise. And that would be initiative, but I think we're going to call it here if you guys like. A small cliffhanger because we are at 10 o'clock and we can find out what happened to Kihi.
So the children are alone against this whatever. Oh no.
Yeah, but you went from having Styx the accountant, who seemed a little strange because you all know Styx the meta goblin, to actual Styx the goblin.
Who has a reason to be meta because he's seen all the possibilities.
I've seen all the things, and dear sweet lord, my mind. Why does this always happen to me with Styx? This is mind-blowing.
I know that I really didn't expect that you would be the first one to choose that pool, but you know, it worked out.
Like that's like the third time in this group I've done this with Styx. It's like it's meant to be. It's meant to be.
What's really weird, I passed the first one, then passed the same one that you failed, whereas you failed that one, then passed the other one. Which is
Sticks failed everyone except for one.
Which is the one which I would hope to frickin' pass, because it's advantage on
what
initiative.
happens if you actually fail that one? Is it disadvantage on initiative?
Yeah, what happens if you fail that one, Hylock?
Yes, that one is disadvantage on initiative.
Oh god, that would have been so bad.
Would have been bad.
Indeed.
Our initiative is all over the place
But
already.
isn't initiative considered considered an ability check as is?
I believe initiative is its own type of check.
There's some debate over that. The exhaustion is supposed to apply to, I believe, skill rolls and regular ability checks.
Right.
Initiative is it uses dex and sometimes other ability scores depending on your build. I think it's given its own status,
Yeah.
so that exhaustion doesn't apply to it except at different levels. I think there is a level exhaustion that does
Sure.
apply to initiative.
I think so. Let me check my.
Speed half,
And
disadvantage
no.
on attack rolls, saving throws, speed reduces 0, hit point maximum half. Nah, there's just disadvantage on ability checks as number 1.
I
Yeah.
might have to check Sage Advice then to find out, but I mean, worst comes to worst, it's not.
Yeah, I literally roll straight anyway, thanks to having advantage.
Yeah,
And
disadvantage on ability checks, speed have disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws, hit point maximum reduced, speed reduced to 0, and then ultimately death.
Oh no, not
I
death.
also can't believe that I got 3 of the characters to do all 4 rolls.
We did it for shenanigan purposes. That was it.
No hate. I mean, I'm impressed by your tenacity to try it all.
I mean, screw
Why
it.
not?
I put Sticks through worse freaking crap before. It's nothing new to him, especially after he saw what all the other Sticks have gone through.
Oh dear.
Right? Jesus Christ. He even got to see my, what was it? Seal the Ancient version of Styx. That was horrifying.
Oh,
That's my
no.
horror story from... This is the D&D games you don't want to get into, because they're scary and terrible, and what the hell was the DM thinking?
Alright, so I hope that is a suitable cliffhanger to leave
Oh,
us
yeah.
on.
Yeah,
I hope we should be able to do this again next week, so I think Alex will still be
Yeah.
gone, but I'll probably double check at some point during the week, and we
Yeah,
can
sure.
continue the shenanigans of Mama and all her babies.
Yeah. Oh no, they're gonna be.
Acquisition
Right.
Incorporated
Yeah.
number 2, The Hunt for Mama.
I mean, that's not a bad name title.
Well,
I mean,
I'll
that's
see
what
you
I'm
guys
naming
next week. Have
Yep.
a good night, everybody.
it. See y'all
See
next
ya.
week.
You all do.
Alright guys, and that's where we're gonna end this wonderful two-shot, I guess. Dang, that was fun. I threw Sticks into this kind of because it was a character I'm familiar enough with where I can just build him from scrap off the top of my head pretty easily. I mean, especially at level 1. And I decided, it's like, you know what, I mean, Sticks has gone through a lot of crap, has made a lot of magical shenanigans happen. I wouldn't be surprised if he just happens to have a clone walking around Waterdeep at this point that may have a personality of his own, that is completely polar opposite to what Styx is. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of ripped the entire idea off of, what was it, American Dad with Roger, when he had his weird personality try to take over, and the personality was a real hardcore religious man with a family and all this other stuff, and yeah, I totally ripped that off. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna pretend I didn't. I totally ripped that, and I loved it. But as usual, I hope you all enjoyed. If y'all did enjoy, a great way to show them that support, as always, by liking the video, subscribe to the channel, and of course, sharing it with your friends. And tuning in next week to see what happens next. Again, though, thank you all for watching, and as usual, cheers to those that love us, the losers that lost us, and as always, lucky sons of bitches that get to meet us. And we will catch you all in the next video. See you then.